Hello. How we doing? Hello, hello. Hello. How's it going? Happy Movie Monday. Hi. Oh my gosh. Oki's already begging for FOOD. I'm doing good. How about you guys? How are you guys doing? I cleaned my room and I cleaned my entire desk setup, which includes wiping everything down and taking air and blowing out my keyboard. My keyboard's all clean. I didn't take the keycaps off, which, you know, like it could get cleaner, but I took I blew the keyboard out, wiped it down, wiped everything down with wet rag, vacuumed my room, hung a bunch of clothes up. I need to wash my sheets, but I have laundry going. Yep. Did anything fly out of the keyboard? No, not really. Nothing exciting. There was like chunks of hair, which I don't know if it was like a bunch of hair had gathered and then just kind of like grouped together, or if there was for some reason chunks of, I don't know, like there would be chunks. I don't know, it was weird. How are you guys? Are you excited for Movie Monday? I think we're gonna watch Arrival. You guys are cool with that. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. We could always watch something else, but that's a good one. It's gotta be Oki hair. Oki's like, I mean, it's been summer enough that I can't imagine she's shedding crazy anymore, but like every surface that I clean, it's just got Oki hair all over it. Like I was hanging a bunch of clothes up and they were so covered in hair that I was like, fuck it, I think I'm just gonna wash them again. Because her hair is just attaching to everything. Had a pretty rough day, but night's been good. Well, that's good. I'm glad it's improving. There's a little goblin that does that classic hair goblin behavior. What do you do? Does anybody have suggestions for, like, if you have a pet, like, not cleaning up the hair, but preventing the hair from going everywhere? Like, I don't know how to prevent, like, her hair gets up on shelves that are taller than she is. I guess I lowered my standards. Yeah, maybe that's what I need to do. I think I need to go take her to get professionally groomed because I usually just clean her. Andy, thank you for continuing your gift sub. I appreciate that. Thank you. I usually give her a bath and I brush her myself, which is fine, but when I brush her, the hair just keeps coming out, and then it just keeps coming out, and then it just keeps coming out, and I physically can't get all of the hair out of her. So I think I'm gonna take her to like a professional groomer. I don't know. She's just got so much hair coming out. It's everywhere. I have a brush called a Furminator. One of those vacuum groomer attachments. I have 4 cats. I have to lint roll my clothes before and after washing them. And Oki is, she's black and white. So if you're wearing black shirt, you got white hair on it. If you're wearing a white shirt, you got black hair on it. There's no color of shirt that is immune to what she's got going on. Yeah, summertime shedding. Yeah, I think I gotta take her to somebody. I don't know. Whatever. Make a clone. Whenever I think of that scene in the Pokemon movie where they're plucking hairs off of the Pokemon and then they're making clones out of them, which is all great and dandy, but there's some Pokemon that don't have hair. So then I was like, what are they doing? How are they making clones? Like Gyarados, right? I guess a scale, maybe. I'm tired today, kind of. I didn't do anything, but I think sometimes I drink Red Bull before stream and sometimes I don't. And the problem is when I do, then when I don't, I'm extra. I know. I think I need more Red Bull. Oh, they're milking them. Okay, that makes sense. Pluck the Porygon. What do you think a Porygon is made out of? This is a Porygon. Like what do you think if you were to walk up to a Porygon and touch it? What would it feel like? I kind of feel like it'd be like hard but rubbery, you know? Marshmallow Puff. I just now got the mobile noti, so that's weird. That is weird. Papyrus? It would feel like a gem. You think? Like solid? I feel like it would be solid, but then have this like outside that would be just a little bit gummy. Like I'm trying to think of an example. Like, I don't know. We banging. No, we're not banging any of the Pokemon. We're not banging anybody. We're just talking about what they would feel like on the outside. There's got to be some sort of Porygon porn. I don't want to see it, but I bet it's out there. Like a bird. Okay. Silicone, kind of. Yeah, exactly. Porygon 2 is definitely gummy soft. It's so funny that with Porygon, they just were like, okay, Porygon is going to evolve into a second Porygon. What do we call it? And some guy in the office was like, Porygon 2? And they were like, okay. All right, Jackson, just... All right. All right, we'll do it. No, we're not doing Pokemon. Anyone remember these guys from Gen 2? Wait, who? Unon? Oh, the Unknown? Yeah. I know the Unknown because of the Pokemon movie with Entei. Hello, Smith. How was the rest of your birthday? They're making a fourth Porygon and they're naming it Porygon_sandwich. They better fucking not. Because I already got some bullshit going on with Disney. I don't want to double dip and have to deal with Disney and Nintendo. I think it was like Porygon 2.0 because it's a computer reference. Yeah, I forget that Porygon's kind of like a computer little guy. Porygon was banned in the US for a long time because Pikachu gave thousands of kids seizures and Porygon took the fall. Huh? Porygon banned. Pokemon's banned episode made Porygon its most controversial creature. The Pokemon franchise has been huge from the get-go, but one early anime episode nearly ruined the series' momentum right off the bat, and the end result was Porygon getting banned from appearing ever again. One common criticism of anime, particularly back in the 90s, was that it was often low frame rate, since each frame had to be drawn by hand, an expensive and tedious process. This sometimes resulted in choppy animation, which is where a lot of stereotypes about anime and Western culture come from. But there's a bigger problem that came from as a result, the capacity to trigger seizures in people with photosensitive epilepsy. Well, it wasn't the first anime to have this issue. The Pokemon anime became the source of one of the biggest incidents of epileptic seizures of all time as a result of one now banned episode. The episode's airing and subsequent aftermath was understandably a major incident and sent Nintendo's stock tumbling afterward from the bad PR. Despite the fact that Pikachu's attack was to blame for the strobing effect that actually caused the seizures, Porygon became the scapegoat, never to appear in another anime episode. Whoa! Okay, I'm gonna find it on YouTube. Obviously, massive flash warning. Polygon banned scene. Did I say Polygon? Before and after Pokemon Shock Incident comparison, episode 1. Okay, I'm going to play this. Flash warning. Okay. Pre-seizure incident, post-seizure incident. Okay, so this is like all of this, but I want the Porygon one specifically. Porygon seizure episode. Oh, okay. Cyber Soldier Porygon, Electric Soldier Porygon seizure scene clip. Electric Soldier Porygon seizure clip flashing removed. No, that's not. Is this? Holy shit. Yeah, that's like really bad. I mean, I expected it to be flashing, but that's like targeted. Holy moly, I don't need to play it again, but I just played it on accident. Wow, okay, yeah. I mean, I definitely understand why they needed to go back and like rehash that, but did Porygon need to take the fall for that? You know, that just seems like a classic example of like, nobody really did anything wrong here except for the people that made the episode, but we gotta blame somebody, so fuck it, we're just gonna put it on Porygon. Get him out of here. Yeah, they wanted to save Pikachu. Yeah, exactly. That particular red-blue flash is bad. I think that red and blue are like as opposite as you can get. That's why like old 3D was like red and blue. Pretty sure Nintendo didn't want their main mascot to take the blame. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. They decided, they were like, well, we got to blame somebody. Let's get him out of here. Someone had to, and Pikachu is the franchise's mascot. Yep, exactly. Alakazam was also banned for a long time because of a lawsuit. Let's just say banned Pokemon. 15 Pokemon that are banned from tournaments, and 10 that should be. Okay, that's not what I wanted. The banned episodes. Pokemon episodes removed from rotation. Okay, I'm not gonna find Alakazam banned. Why was Kadabra banned from the Pokemon TCG? Is that what you're talking about? New Porygon evolution? Yeah, what the fuck? Jinx was a problem for a while. Is Jinx still a problem, kind of? I don't really know. I've like heard little bits and pieces, but I never really paid attention. Yeah, it's Kadabra. If you've been collecting cards from the Pokemon trading card game, then you probably know that there is one card that cannot be found anywhere. The card is called Kadabra and has been absent from the game for many years. Wait, what? Hold on, I have to fix my camera. A little bit. That's good. It was recently announced that Kadabra will be back for this year's trading card game after 20 years of absence. The story behind this absence is quite interesting, which caused this card to be banned from the Pokemon trading card game. Back in 2000, an illusionist named Uri Geller sued the Pokemon Company because of Kadabra's likeness to his name and appearance. Later on, Geller also found that Kadabra's Japanese name was Younger, which we believe to be an amalgamation of his names. Huh?
Hi, dear friends. Great news for Pokemon fans. 20 years ago, I walk into the mall in Tokyo. I'm inundated by kids. They're all shouting, Youngeller, and they're bowing to me. I said, what's going on? I take a card and I see my name on the Pokemon card. Look, this is my name in Japanese, Uri Geller, and that's what I see on the card, Youngeller. I say, wait a minute. I didn't give Nintendo permission to print my name on a Pokemon card. I sued them. Make a long story short, I became a grandfather. I released Nintendo from the lawsuit, and guess what? The card is coming back. Read my message. This
guy got paid so much money. Guaranteed. This sounds like somebody who got cut a massive paycheck.
great news. Hey, kids, you got Youngeller back. Love you all.
The lawsuit lasted for decades. Since then, the Pokemon Company has removed Kadabra from the card sets and phased it out of the anime as well. But the good news is that Geller has decided to back off, and this allows the Pokemon... He decided to back off. Yeah, somebody cut him a paycheck. And the Pokemon Company to bring the Kadabra after more than 20 years. Geller later discussed the situation with Kotaku and admitted that he made a mistake. He stated that becoming a grandfather and seeing his granddaughters play with the cards made him realize what mistake he did. I don't know. That kind of seems a little bit like somebody who got a pretty big paycheck and was like, I suddenly forgive everybody. And somebody asked if I have any really cool Pokemon cards, which I've actually never showed this on stream before. But I have a holographic Charizard which is really cool. And then on the other side, it is a first edition Entei. Yeah. So, kind of a big deal. I don't talk about it very often, but you know, it's special. Yeah, thanks for asking though. I appreciate it. I have my whole binder over here, but it's just a lot of cards to go through. They're all like OG cards because I haven't bought cards in a long time. But they're good. Should be locked up. Oh, it's fine. It's all good. I like it right here. I actually, when I leave the house, I take it with me. I put it in my purse, so. Unless Logan Paul rocks up, I think I'm good. Never seen those cards not once in my life. No, none of you guys have, because I haven't showed them to you guys. Clearly. Got more cards today. My collection is growing nicely. I kind of want to buy some Pokemon cards. You know what I would love to go do? I would love to go to like a trading card convention. Like a place that a bunch of people have really fucking expensive cards just to see them and like IRL stream it. It's not Shadowless, no. I know somebody that has a first edition Shadowless holographic Charizard though, and they are a part of this very community. And they just casually showed it to us when we were talking about our Pokemon cards, and they didn't even have it in a hard case. It was just in a sleeve, and I was like, my brother in Christ, go take that to a vault somewhere. Don't just flash that around. Logan Paul rocks that Pikachu card on WWE TV. I know, it's weird. My nephew is into Pokemon now, and I've been slowly giving him my hand-me-down cards. Oh, that's nice. Depending on what age, you know, because they gotta really appreciate it. Did you see the thing about the tattoo convention? I didn't see the thing about the tattoo convention. Tell me more. Lock that. Yeah, lock that shit in a bunker. Put it in a metal box, lock the box, and then bury it in your yard. And do not let anybody know where you buried it. San Diego has a tattoo convention in like 2 weeks. San Diego tattoo convention. IRL streaming stuff like this is so tough because you never know if you're gonna have service in there. August 18th, San Diego Tattoo Arts Festival, or I think it's this one. San Diego Convention Center. Can I pull up the website? That would be kind of a cool event to live stream. I wouldn't mind that. Not exactly close, but a fun idea to IRL stream. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. There was like a fitness expo here in LA that Krub was saying we should go IRL stream. I swallowed my Shadowless to make sure no one would steal it. Good for you. That's a flyer in my cafe near me. That's a good song. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of like cool conventions that just like slip by the wayside that I don't know are happening. Might go there. That sounds sick. I went to a tattoo convention once. It was really cool. You walk around, basically what it is from the one I went to is you walk around and it's a bunch of tattoo artists that have booths and they have pictures of their art. A lot of them are doing tattoos, like flash tattoos. And then a lot of them, because tattoo artists are artists, not just, you know, skin art. So a lot of them have cool merch. So I have a sweatshirt that I bought. Let me see if it's that I bought at a tattoo convention. This is like one of my favorite sweatshirts. Cool. It's just like a black sweatshirt, but I bought it at a tattoo convention because one of the artists there had it, and I was like, whoa, that would be cool to get as a tattoo. I was in the market at the time to get a big dragon tattoo on my body, and I never ended up doing it, and now I'm kind of thankful. Not that I don't think that that would look cool, but I'm just glad that I didn't do it. I don't know. I think LA has the largest tattoo convention, but I don't remember when it is. That would be cool to go to. I'd love to go see that. Need to go to another PAX. They have PAX in, isn't it like Seattle or something? Flies up. I just noticed you have a spiral skull back there. I do, yeah. Do you guys want a tour of my shelf in the back? I can. No. I don't know if I can show everything because the angles are weird. Yeah, I think you can see everything from this angle. Let me give you guys a tour because I've never showed you this, I don't think. Have I? Have I ever showed you guys my shelf back there? You can't really see it from my stream. On Long Beach has a trading card expo August 26th, 27th. Oh, whoa, that would be cool. I might be in the middle of my break though. I'm gonna take a break end of August, like a week or something. So that might be in the middle of my break. Let me look at my calendar real quick. Okay, so yeah, like the second to last week in August, I'm gonna take a break. Like a week break. Because you know what? I've never done that. That's not true. I took a week break in whenever I did the window, which I think was 2021 or 2022. I took a week off because I was feeling burnout, and I haven't taken a week off just to rest. The last couple times that I've taken days off have been both of the times that I moved. Like when I moved from Oregon to Arizona, I took a couple days off. And then when I moved from Arizona to LA, I took a couple days off. But I have not taken a week break to not do anything in years. Like actually years. I haven't. Yeah. So I kind of want to do that. I don't know. I feel like that's, I hate it, but I think I need to. I think it'd be a good idea. It's been a while. Okay, let me show you guys my little tour. My shelf tour. Taking my first vacation in more than 2 years at the end of the month. Maybe we all should. Maybe if you, I mean, I know a lot of people can't because of work or whatever, but I'll tell you guys when I'm taking time off stream. And maybe we just all take a little break together. And if you're not taking a break, then I don't know, whatever. Okay, I have two angles here. Kind of. I think this angle I'll be able to show you everything. Let me just double check. I wouldn't have anything doxing back here because this is all like stream stuff. We should break up. You guys breaking up with me? Okay, this is my shelf. This is my shelf back there. And everything that's on this shelf is something that is special to me that has to do with streaming related something. So can we all come to LA and crash on your couch? I have a sectional, so as many of you that can fit on the sectional. So I'll go from top to bottom. So back here you can see the Baby Boss book, which Jarvis gave to me for my birthday. Boss Baby, whatever, I don't care. That's back there. This is a cardboard cutout of Blarney that somebody gave me at my birthday party. I believe it was fish. I could be wrong. Hello, Ronnie. This is just a plant, not really relevant. These candles, which I'm not gonna go get them because I have everything stacked, but John actually gave me these candles for my birthday. There are 3 candles, and there's Autumn Plains, Summer Forest, and Winter Tundra, which are the 3 homeworlds of Spyro. This is Autumn Plains, which is the second homeworld. It's my favorite one. but there's candles, and the candles smell weird, kind of. They don't smell bad, but they're just kind of weird. Like they don't smell anything like what you think they would smell like. So anyways, those are the 3 candles I have. I have, this is a Spyro skull that somebody gave me for my birthday. This back here is a trophy that I got when I played in Alpha Rad's beer pong tournament. It just says like Alpha Rad's invitational beer pong thing. It's like really good quality. I took a shot out of it with somebody once. You're gonna make me boot up an emulator tonight. Fucking love a good emulator. This is my doodle that Eric sent me. This is the Baby Boss toy that somebody sent me in my PO box. Back here, so for my birthday this year, my roommates organized a fun little present, which is they got all of my friends together to dress like dragons or Spyro characters, and we all went out to breakfast. I don't know if I ever shared that with you guys. It was going to be in the vlog, but I didn't make a birthday vlog. But they all dressed up like different Spyro characters, and Nandre dressed up like money bags. So he had this bag of gems, and then this is a monocle. And Barry dressed up like Ripto. He had like a horn on the top of his head and a cape. And so they surprised me. We went out to breakfast and Nan gave me a bag and he was like, you're going to want to put this on. And it was the Spyro onesie that I have. And then all of my friends came in dressed up like dragons or different characters from the franchise. It was crazy. And so that's like one of the costumes. This is a little squishy Sonic that I think Nikki got for me for my birthday. This right here, which you can't really see it very well from where you guys are, is it's Nidoking. This is a little Nidoking toy that I've had since I was a kid. It used to be attached to the dashboard in my very first car. So that's that. Let's see what else is back there. You can't see it. Oh, okay, I gotta show you guys this because she's very important to us. Candy's back there. She's behind the cup. Candy's been around for a moment. There's probably a lot of you guys that don't know Candy. But this is Candy. We did a stream where I had chat send me the weirdest things that they could find on the internet that were under $100, and then we did a tournament style bracket. Candy's leg is she's been, the move wasn't good to her, but she's still doing her thing. So she's back there. On Candy, there was a Korean Yu-Gi-Oh card that I think it was Jarvis, gave us all packs of Korean Yu-Gi-Oh cards that we opened, so I just kept one of them. Yeah, she's been through tough times. Okay, I think that's it for that shelf. Yeah, I think that's it for that shelf. This is a D20 that I just have. It's not really sentimental, but I just have one up there. Down here, here's the Winter Tundra candle that goes with this 3. There's my Spyro that I just got. So my Spyro disc. This is chocolate poop that Nandre bought for me. So it's literally in the shape of poop. And then all of these are like from different things. Like I have my RTX lanyard and banner or lanyard thing pass, my TwitchCon pass, my... What else do I have? What's the other one? Oh, Creator Clash. Yeah, so I have my... This one's for TwitchCon. This one was for TwitchCon. This one was for RTX. This one was for Creator Clash. Yeah, those are those. And then there's some little like things clipped down at the bottom. This yellow one was the pass that we got for Point Crow Party to get into the building. This is my wristband for the after party for Streamer Awards, I think. The party that I went to for like 20 minutes and then it got shut down. This is actually kind of funny. So the very first time I ever came to LA, no, that's not true. So I was living in Arizona and Jacob invited me to be part of this beer pong tournament up here. And it was the first time I was ever like doing a collab in person with other creators. And during the beer pong tournament, I was talking to Cutie and Mogul Money was the next day. And she was like, I'll get you in, just, you know, whatever. So she got me a ticket, which was nice. And then I got to go to Mogul Money, which was cool because a lot of people I met at Mogul Money, I'm like now close friends with. Like I met Jarvis at Mogul Money. I got to hang out with a bunch of people. It was kind of my first LA event because I went to Mogul Money. I got to sit up with the creators and not like as like a fan, which I like felt all cool. I was like, whoa, this is so cool. And then I got to go to the after party and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. And so then I had this pass in my wallet for a while, not for any sentimental reason. I just forgot it was in there. And so you can barely see it. So this one's sentimental to me because it was like my first LA event, like creator wise. And then this is the tiny sombrero. This is a mug that Adam got me. And it's, if you've ever watched King Killer or played Red King Killer Chronicles, this is the name of the tavern in King Killer Chronicles. So that is a tour of my whole shelf. And then up here is my Sly Cooper painting that I did with Danny. And that's it. I don't see anything I don't think there's anything. Oh, behind this is a picture of when Brody got the Australian food box. This is a picture. Oh, sorry. He attached that picture of him as a kid, so that's there because I think it's funny. There's a story on the bottom shelf, nipple clamp. Oh, that's the light. So that's that lighting. And that's it. That's the whole shelf. There might be stuff that you can't see. Oh yeah, kind of. Down here is a Mario Pez dispenser that I got for Point Crow Party. There's something back here, but I don't know what it is. There's a bunch of stuff back here that's just like little, but I can't see. Whatever. Yeah. Hello, Mom. Cool stuff. Very cool stuff. Is that the sexy rat from Fantasy High? I don't think so. And I would give you a tour of my stream setup, but it is not impressive by any means. One day I'll I did clean my setup, but I think if I want to show it to you guys, I want to like really, really, really clean it. And just like check everything. But the way that my setup is, my cable management's, my cable management probably will never get better, but it could get different. My stream setup, to describe it, is I have an L-shaped desk. I have 3 monitors. I have a desk behind my desk because I don't want to set anything on my actual desk. So the way that my PC setup is, I'll draw it for you guys. I have like, this is so I have like an L-shaped desk, right? So this is the wall. Imagine this is the wall. Nope. This is the wall. So I have an L-shaped desk, and then behind that desk, I have another desk. It's more like a table. And then I have my PC here, and I have my monitor here, and then I have my camera here. And then I have just some boxes or just like random shit here. And then I have a big shelf like here. And this is where I sit. And I have a monitor here, but it's attached to an arm, so it doesn't sit on the table. It's diagonal actually, so it's not that way. But anyways, I got a table to put behind my desk. Otherwise, all this shit would have to sit on my desk and I would have no space. I would be cramped. So huge vouch for doing that. We need color coding. You don't get it. So now that you guys know my whole setup, I'll give you guys a tour someday. Maybe when I'm moving. Or when I'm setting up. Maybe when I've freshly set up. I've never seen someone do that in my life. I originally did it because I had a 2 PC setup. And I was like, where the fuck am I going to put 2 PCs? So I bought this cool, it's like this wide. And it's, you know, probably 6 feet long. And it's got a shelf below it, and I can just put everything that's PC related back there, and then my desk is completely clean. The mouse pad's cute. Yeah, you used to be able to buy them. I don't know if you can still buy them. Also, good for one drink. See, this is what I was talking about, Caitlin, the other day. Like, you ever seen Captain Jack Sparrow do this? This. The chaos of wires will always be. I've given in to cord management, and the reason why I've given into cord management is because I move stuff around too often, so if I tried to organize my cords, I would constantly be undoing them from whatever. Now eat it. It's not a gold coin. Where does your dinner sit? Where do you put your Red Bull? Where is Oki? Oki is laying right in front of my desk because she's hungry. I don't have any Red Bull. I cleaned my room today, so the only bowl I have on my desk is this one because I just ate it about 30 minutes ago. Or 40 minutes ago. So I only have one bowl, but other than that, everything else is clean. I don't have anything unnecessary. The only thing I gotta do is I gotta clean my sheets, and then my bedroom will be super clean. No desk ranch. I haven't had desk ranch on my desk for a long time. We're cool. No, it was actually pretty good. I made some chicken the other day. And then as I was cooking my chicken, I realized that Nandre had made salmon like 2 nights ago, and he left me some. And so I was like, fuck, I better eat that. So I cooked the chicken, and then I basically immediately just wrapped it up in tin foil and put it in the fridge. And then I ate the salmon, and then I had this. So I made ramen, and then I put an egg in it, and then I put some spicy mayo in it, and then I cut the chicken up and I put it in there. So it was really good. Tasty. You know, pretty easy, not anything fancy. Now I'm hungry. It was a very good meal, but easy, not good for you. But speaking of good for you, I have worked out 3 times this week. I've gone to the gym 3 times this week, which is pretty big. It's pretty massive. I know. Things are changing around here. Gym era. We'll see how long it lasts. I'm gonna try to go a bit. It's Monday. For workouts, I kind of just have to go when I can go. I can't keep a schedule Monday through Friday, or I guess Sunday through Monday. Monday through Sunday. I can't keep any kind of schedule like that because there's so many variables that change day to day. So I just go when I can go, which is really hard because you have to decide I'm going to go today. But like yesterday and the day before, I was working, and so I couldn't go. And then today I woke up, got out of bed, said, I'm going to go to the gym. I went to the gym, came home, cleaned my room, did all the dishes downstairs, cleaned the kitchen, hung up a bunch of my clothes, started some laundry, streamed. Then after stream, we're doing Movie Monday. And while I watch the movie, I'm going to keep doing shit. We're girl bossing. I think I want to date with Jim Era. Weird kisser. Days are not real and neither are time zones. True. I got COVID weeks ago and even after recovering have not been motivated to go back to the gym. Yeah, once you like get into the swing of things, it gets easier. But I think like the first 2 weeks of going back to the gym is hard. It's kind of incredible. Every time I go to the gym, I like, you know, a couple days, like a week's worth of going to the gym. It's like my mind is clearer. I have more energy. I feel better. And every time I'm like, wow, crazy. And then And then I slowly start slipping and then I stop going. And then I'm like, why am I so tired? And my brain is so fuzzy. Like, crazy. I want to start a home gym for my next gym era. I've always wanted a home gym too, but I don't think I should have one because I've got some like weights and stuff for my house, and I work out really poorly when I work out at home because it takes me this much effort to just walk out of the room that I'm working out in and go into another room where there's distractions. Like getting a snack mid-workout, easy. Coming upstairs because I suddenly remembered that I needed to take care of something, easy. Yeah, exactly. It's like the library. It's like you gotta go. Gyms, I think half of the business with gyms that are so great are you're there so you feel like you owe it to the gym to stay there for however long. It's like I'm paying for it. I'm gonna do my thing when I'm here and then go home. Gym next to a kitchen is dangerous. Yeah, that's like I would work out in my living room with my kitchen right there and I would be like, oh man. Or if you're working out at home, you find any excuse to not do it. So it's like, I'm working out. Oh man, there's some dishes over there though. I should probably take care of those dishes right now. And the next thing you know, you're watching dishes when you should be working out. Been using my brother's gym membership for a year because it's under his Chinese name and I'm still scared I'm going to get caught. I mean, if you do get caught, I guarantee they'll literally just be like, hey, don't do that. Or they might fine you like 1 day's worth, which will be like $10, $15. Like, the thing about that, it's the same as like the movie theater. I don't think that they are like, I don't think that that's something that's necessarily going to make a worker at the gym so upset that they try to punish you. They're just going to be like, oh, yeah, don't do that. And then if you do it twice, then they'll probably cancel the membership. But the first time, they'll just be like, okay. Only letting myself watch a show I like when I'm on the treadmill is my method. I usually start my workout with the treadmill run, but I haven't found anything that's long or short enough for me to watch. If I work out at home, I never end up doing it. I have to go to a gym. Yeah, once I'm at the gym. And also another thing is, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm at a gym, I feel a little bit of like social pressure to work out harder because there's all these people around me. Like today I went into the little private room, you know, so it's like the mirror room, and I was in there and I was working out a little bit, but I was also dinking around on my phone. And then this big gym bro came in and he was doing burpees, and I was like, okay, I can't just sit here on my phone when there's a gym bro right next to me doing burpees. He did like, I'm shitting you not, like 30 sets of burpees. And I was just like, okay, putting my phone down, doing the thing. Home workouts always made it feel like I'm sweating in bed or something. That is true, yeah. Also, I like to shower right after working out, but I don't like to shower right after working out. And when I work from home or when I work out from home, that's what happens. It feels bad to shower right after working out. Am I wrong there? It's like your body temperature hasn't cooled down yet, I think. The date was with Jimothy bro. Challenge him to 35 sets of burpees. I'm at the point where I feel really self-conscious working out because I know I don't have good form. And I don't think anybody pays attention or cares. I think if I was having such bad form that I was going to hurt myself, somebody would probably care. But I just like get super self-conscious. It's like, don't look at me. Don't perceive me. I tweeted about this the other day, but whenever I go to the gym, I dress like a total shit bag. Like I usually will wear like a gigantic t-shirt and then just like leggings, because I want it to be very apparent that I don't work out and I don't want people to perceive me. Because you're still sweating. It's the worst. Yeah, exactly. Hold on, let me scroll up. What's up with dudes going full nude in the locker room at the gym? I think that the comfort of nudity in locker rooms is always something that I have really been uncomfortable with, and I think that I guess if there's somewhere that you have to be naked, a locker room is an appropriate place to be. But I just remember being a kid, and I remember going into the locker rooms at the pool. There was this pool that everybody went to, and you would go into the locker rooms to like shower before and after you got in the pool. And there was always like these old ladies walking around naked. And I was just like, can I request to not see people naked? Like, can we have two sides of the locker room? One is the naked side and one is just the bathing suit side. Like, is it within my right to not want to see people booty ass naked, especially when I'm like a child? Like, I'm a minor. I don't know. Is that, can we? Going to Planet Fitness as a high schooler and seeing old dudes nude right away was wild. Yeah, I think it's kind of like it is a place that people will get butt ass naked when there's minors walking around and everybody's like, it's the locker room. All right, yeah, it's fine. It's like, I don't want that though. I don't want it. I don't want to. Please. I feel like the nudity is contextual. Sometimes it's like clear display or weird. I guess. Okay, so maybe I'm just kind of making like a mountain out of a molehill. It's taken me like a long time to be comfortable with nudity in any capacity. I'm much better at it now than I used to be. But I've always held pretty firm that I think it's inappropriate to be jump scared by nudity. Like, I think that everybody should be a little bit more comfortable, especially in American culture, with nudity. You know, like I always talk about sex positivity. I always talk about how we shame young people for nudity. We shame them for sexuality. We shame them for this and them that. And then we have adults that don't know how to interact with other people appropriately. Talked about that all the time. That being said, if I don't want to see people naked, I should have at least a buffer period of 3 seconds. Even that fucking YouTube video that shows the guy's butthole gives me a buffer period of a couple seconds to decide that I don't want to see it. It depends on the jump scare is your fault, like unknowingly going into a nude area. Right. So a locker room, right, if we're talking about places that would make sense for there to be naked people, a locker room would make sense, right? So I think in the locker room scenario, it's 50-50. I'm valid for not wanting to see naked people. They're valid for being naked. A thing that I usually bring up is people who have... Yeah, Oki's. I'm gonna have to go feed her because she's being really annoying. One thing that I always bring up, and this is like a really common thing with content creators, because there's a lot of content creator and like sex work or like people that have like spicy social medias, right? Like fan house stuff like that. And I've talked about this before, and this is one of the opinions that I'm pretty like firm on. I don't like to see people in their underwear or naked, like unconsensually on my timeline. And it really makes me uncomfortable if I'm scrolling on Twitter and I see somebody that I know personally, like in the lewd. And I don't want that. I don't want that because I don't really want the image in my brain. I'm really appreciative of the work they're doing. I'm appreciative of the industry. I'm appreciative of them getting the bag or feeling confident in those kinds of things, right? Nothing about it is wrong, but I don't like it when I get like jump scared by it, because now it's like, okay, I didn't really want to see a personal friend in their underwear or with their dick out, and now I've seen it. And like this has happened to me, like a friend that I had, a guy friend, had a second Twitter page, like that they would post nudes, and I stumbled upon it, and there was a picture of it was on my timeline, and so then I was like, I did not like that. Like I didn't want that. I didn't like that. And I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do about that. Like, it's not their fault. It's also not my fault. I also want to watch in-depth reports on anybody else's jaws either, I guess. I feel like I put my earbuds back on at a weird time, part of the conversation. Yeah, you might have. You're changing or showering or walking to the shower locker room nudity I view differently than if you're nude just standing there chatting. Well, also like going back to, I guess what it's going to happen right now is I'm going to kind of counteract my own point is nudity doesn't necessarily mean sexual, right? So if somebody's walking around in a locker room naked and it makes me uncomfortable, is that a little bit on me in a way? Because I feel like our culture, a lot of cultures, but a lot of cultures don't, our culture really sexualizes nudity. Which nudity is not always sexual. You see what I'm saying? I was a child the last time I felt uncomfortable about it. Yeah. Remember, that's my first year university housing was right behind a nude beach. I was shocked finding out the first I went there. I guess that the area that Emily and CEO Dan Clancy were IRL streaming like sometimes can be a nude beach, which is, I guess nothing happened, but did you guys see the clip of Dan Clancy saying he only showers twice a week? I don't think that there's any issue with that, but he did specifically clarify even if he showers. Let me show this. Oh my gosh, Zewski, hi. I think, let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find this. Okay, here it is. Here's the clip.
Twice a week. I shower like twice a week.
I think it's fine. I was going to say you don't have to shower.
You think so?
No, that's normal.
You hear that,
When I
Chet?
say normal, no, that's healthy.
You hear that?
Yes.
I'm healthy.
Daily showering is not what we're supposed to do.
Amen, Dan. Amen.
So I also only shower twice a week and I exercise still.
Really?
Yeah. Which for some people are like, what?
I got the approval.
Okay. Hot take, I think there's a part of him that's correct. I think, okay, here's what I'm gonna say. I agree with him when he says we're not meant to shower daily because our body produces natural oils that are good for our skin. They're good for our hair. They keep us moisturized, da-da-da-da-da. But also, ITTV, thank you for gifting a sub to Zeus. I appreciate that. I saw that. Sorry, I was distracted. You're great. That being said, we live in a society in the year 2023 where smelling bad is a big culture. Like, smelling bad is bad, right? Like, we really notice when somebody smells bad. So is showering every day bad for you? I'm gonna say a hard yes. Do we shower every day because if you don't, you will smell bad? Yes. Right? So this is just kind of how we've evolved. There are plenty of resources to not smell bad. You know what I do a lot of times? Because I shower pretty much every day. Sometimes it's every other day, but pretty much every single day. And if I don't shower, get your wet wipes out. Get your fucking wet wipes out. Okay? Wet wipes are great. Wash your face. Wash your pits. Wipe your ass. I don't care. But twice a week, I don't know. I'm on the medieval regimen, outdoor bath twice a year for special occasions. I live in the Caribbean and we shower 2 to 4 times a day. Yeah, that's not good for your hair or skin, but when you live somewhere where it's really hot and humid, I totally understand why that would happen. personally shower every 2 to 3 days unless I know I'm going to be around people. Then I shower every day. I shower either every day or every other day, but I only wash my hair like every 3 days. Because my hair would just get too dry if I washed it every day. If you exercised or had the non-existent sex that day, you should shower that day. Yeah. Also, yes, please shower after you have sex. If you are sexually active, please, because that's fucking gross. Meatloaf cube. If it's really, really hot, I do 2 cold showers a day. But one is just a rinse. Yeah, of course, right? Please shower before you have sex and make sure, right? Okay, I don't think I need to say this to a bunch of adults, but if you're an adult, if you are sexually active, please get tested between every partner. I don't care how much you like them. I don't care how nice they are. Get regularly tested because there are a lot of STDs. There's a lot of STIs that are non-symptomatic. And especially if you're a uterus haver, they can fuck your shit up 7 ways till Sunday, okay? They're very easy to cure. I will tell you from experience, sometimes it is just simply a pill. Boom, bam, easy money. And then you won't run into awkward situation down the line. Hey, stop doing whatever you're doing over there. You're supposed to get tested once a year. I have a friend that is a lady that told me that she has never gone to see an OBGYN before. And I screamed. I screamed at her. I yelled. I started yelling. I was like, have you had sex before? Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Go. If you're actively having sex, you should test like every 3 months. It's, even if you don't have health insurance, it's not wildly expensive to go in and get the charcuterie board of tests. Like, health insurance is going to help. It'll probably cost you maybe $100, $200, which is, you know, that can be a lot of money, but like go in, do all the tests at once. Josie, thank you for the 6 months. Yeah, it's a yelling moment. I mean, listen, you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for somebody else. Like, if you end up getting something that is contagious from having sex, that's because some motherfucker didn't care enough and didn't want to go get tested. Nobody well, I'm not going to say nobody because there have been historical stories of people spreading things intentionally, but most of the time people don't spread things intentionally. Monogamy is great for not having to worry about it. Guys, I'm going to say something controversial. It's not controversial. I don't even care how much you trust your partner. Still go get tested. Still go get tested. Like, you may trust them with all of your heart. It is not worth getting an STD on the chance that, who knows? Who knows? Because you know what? When I went to the doctor and the doctor said, "Hey babe, you got something that we got to give you a pill for." I was in a relationship. So you can imagine how that conversation went. I was in a monogamous relationship. So the small view on a wider occurrence. Yep. I'm asexual though. Well, then if you're not having like sexual contact, then that definitely changes things. But also, it is good to go get things checked out just for, you never know, there's also non-sexually active things that could show up. Take care of your parts, friends. Sounds like a skill issue. Fuck off. Planned Parenthood will hook you up. Yep. You'll feel really weird going in there because a lot of Planned Parenthoods are like pretty crusty looking. I'm going to say it, but we're thankful that they exist. The grocery store once, and I went to the grocery store once and I bumped into my gynecologist and I said hi. I was like, "Hey," and she was like, And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, just because I don't have my vagina on me, you don't recognize me? I mean, like, I had my vagina. I have it. It's always on me. Like, I don't. But, like, I didn't have my whole sandwich ussy spread out. And she was like, I don't know who you are. Like, drop your pants and then maybe I'll know who the fuck you are. It's like, are you kidding me? You're telling me that I'm not recognizable? I'm gonna need some ID, please. He's like, drop your pants. Oh, yeah, it's you. Great. STIs can also spread before the person knows they have it. I can't remember if it's chlamydia or gonorrhea. Can be totally asymptomatic and make you infertile if it is not dealt with quickly enough. This one says sign. Oh my god, I cleared my cookies today and it signed me out of everything. Frick. Yeah, my gynecologist gave me the Humegalol. That's literally what happened. That was a wild clip to join the stream too, but I expected nothing less. Like, it's a sandwich stream. I should clean my cookies too. Make sure to go see a doctor, get your cookies cleaned, get everything. Make sure that you get pap smears, okay? They're very uncomfortable, but they're very important. Check for lumps in the shower. These are all things that you can do by yourself, not the pap smear, but there's lots of things. Educate yourself. Sorry if I'm making anybody uncomfortable, but I care about you guys. Go online, go on YouTube, Google how to check for lumps and bumps in the shower, and then do that every once in a while. You know, you may save yourself a lot. Get the HPV shot. Do the stuff. Check your balls. Check your parts. I don't have a vagina, but I'll go get a pap smear. Just walk in and ask. See what they say. I call them bumpy lumpies. Yeah, get the whole getting. Honestly, I wish that it was not TOS to do a sex ed class on Twitch, because I would straight up go find a person that is qualified and I would ask them to do that. Is it TOS? I think it is. I think it's because it's focusing on sexual content. I don't know, dude. Yeah, and they can't show you any photos. It's just really skirting the line there. It's skirting the line. Like, if I went out and I found somebody that was qualified and I was like, hey, I do this for a living. Would you be willing to come teach a couple hundred people about how to take care of themselves? At least one person in chat would benefit from it. The thing about, and I talk about this on stream all the time, I'm a very sex positive person. The thing about sexual education is that adults get to a point where they're too nervous to ask because they feel like they should already know. And that is not great. Just get a permission slip from Dan. I wonder if I DM'd him and I was like, can I do this? If that would be like pushing a boundary. Brogan has done discussions on contraceptives and protection on people's streams before. Yeah, she's fully qualified. I would not give a stream about it because I stand very firmly that Twitch is a platform for entertainment for the most part, and I get really irritated when I see people use a platform irresponsibly. Recluse, thank you for the gifted sub. Oh, the alert decided to have a time there. Thank you for the gifty. One thing that I see on Twitch a lot that makes me upset is people sometimes, and I don't mean all the time, but people doing mental health streams. I think that there is a right way to do a mental health stream. I also think there's a really irresponsible way to have mental health streams. And the irresponsible way to have mental health streams is when you start trying to educate people without any kind of qualifications. That always makes me upset. Because you know what? You're just going to get somebody to hyperfixate on something that they think is wrong with them that's probably not true. And you can't control the chat when you have mental health streams. And so what you're doing is, in the format of Twitch, if you have a discussion about something, it's exactly that. It's a discussion. And so you're subjecting your chat not just to the things that you say, but to the things that everybody else in the chat's going to say. Untrained armchair therapists need to stop doing mental health streams. Yeah, it's not, there's some, like, sometimes there's mental health streams coming from the aspect of like, hey, let's just be supportive of each other. Like, I don't know how people do it. That's good. But it's like, oh, we're just gonna maybe play a cozy game and be comfortable talking about things that are going on in our lives, that kind of stuff. But you have to be really careful if you try to play therapist role as a streamer, because that could be really irresponsible really quickly. And one of the biggest reasons is because when you have a platform, things that you say are amplified. A lot of people are more inclined to think that you're right because you have 250 people watching you. So you have to be really careful. Can't give advice in some capacities. Actually gained a shit ton of respect for you after watching How Did You Did That, This Is My Situation, Don't Let It Change Yours discussion. Interesting. When was that? That's good though. I'm glad. I say it often on my stream, like, any opinion that I say, don't just take it with a grain of salt, right? Because just because I've got the camera on me doesn't mean I'm right. TikTok psychologists are sus. I've only seen one person. Every time I run into a TikTok psychologist, they tell me that I have ADHD or autism or something. And I'm always like, this is TikTok. Hey, stop. I would say the cheese advice scored me both the drunken goat and some Parmesan, so there's that. There you go. I was curious about that. Psychologists and therapists have specific moral and ethical boundaries that both help and protect them. True. That is true. I think it was back in Arizona. The Arizona streams were good. Grain of salt. Yep, take it with a grain of salt. I don't know. Just do that with all streamers, please. I don't care if they have 2 viewers. I don't care if they have 10,000 viewers. Just because they have an audience watching them does not make their words have any more weight than somebody else. We didn't pick a movie, but we've had a couple people say Arrival the last couple days. So I was just going to see how you guys feel about it. Also, it's very topical right now. There's a lot of behaviors that shared between neurodivergent experiences that people recognize, but that's not the whole story. Yeah, and then it's like you get somebody, it's like, okay, hey, by the way, like if you do this and this and this, you're probably autistic. And then you get a TikToker or a TikTok viewer that goes, oh, okay. And then they don't go see anybody. They don't reach out. They just have decided. And they may potentially not be seeking resources that could help them for another thing that's going on, you know? Whatever. Like when I went to get an ADHD diagnosis, they diagnosed me with bipolar. And you know why I thought I had ADHD? Because I watched some fucking TikToks. Okay, but I went and saw a doctor and they told me that I had something else, and then I got medicated for it and my life changed. But I could have just been like, yeah, I have ADHD, and that's just how it goes. Bigger number, better person. Everyone knows that. Yep, fuck, you're right. True. I saw something that was like, all things you didn't know were stims, and I was like, I do not have autism and I've done plenty of those things. True, yeah. Yep. I want to do Arrival, but I also want to do Birdemic 2. Is there a Birdemic 2? And those kinds of diagnoses also a very intentional pass after to ensure you have a net of support. Yep. True. It is expensive, but doctors are doctors. The back end of this is where I describe my experiences with ADHD. People will try and talk me out of it like, but everyone feels like that. That's not a unique experience, which is true, but can also be true in my life. It's like just the word anxiety, right? So like people that have anxiety disorders is not the same as somebody being anxious, which I think is just the fault of the terminology. You know, it's like, and that leaks into OCD, that leaks into depression, that leaks into bipolar. Like, I get really frustrated when people describe things as being bipolar because it waters down the word, and it is a sometimes really debilitating thing to live with. If you want all of your pencils to be straight up and down on your desk, you don't have a OCD. You might, but you know what I'm saying. Feeling anxious because you have a test coming up is not the same as having an anxiety disorder. So, oh my God, there is a birdemic too. You can worry about something, and the amount you worry damages your capacity to live. That becomes a pathology and becomes diagnosable. 99.9% of the time people say bipolar, they mean, ooh, I'm gonna learn a new word. I'm gonna learn a new word that I'm probably gonna overuse. Do you guys ever learn a new word and you're like, whoa, that's a good one, and then you just like use it for everything? Given to sudden and accountable changes of mood or behavior.
Capricious.
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 Capricious. Yeah, true. And also the word bipolar is also used in misogyny a lot, because people often will describe women who are being overreactive as bipolar. Like, it's very rarely used to describe men for no reason, but a lot of times, yeah, hysterical, bipolar, capricious poppy. OCD is debilitating for so many people. Arranging your pens neatly still lets you live your life. Yeah. Bipolar, the new hysterical. Yeah. And I, of course, like everything else in my life, make a bunch of jokes about it. You know, like me and John, we're both bipolar, and we'll rip into each other. Like, if either one of us says anything, I'll be like, hey bro, you're being a little bit manic right now. You might want to calm down. You're being a little bit manic. And that is how we deal with just how ridiculous sometimes our brains will become. Like, if you're somebody that has any kind of like diagnosis, sometimes you reflect and you're like, this is ridiculous that my brain is doing this to me. This is almost like comical that this is actually what is happening in there. And so me and my other friends that are bipolar, there's a lot of us in LA. We all make jokes. We make a lot of jokes about it because it helps us feel like it not only does it help us feel like we're not alone, but it kind of like makes light of this thing that can suck really bad, because that's just how we deal with it. Not everybody does. Clinical and subclinical variants of all behavior. The difference lies in the burger of dysfunction and causes, which is the video is going to know about you. Yeah, Marcy. It's also a way to get comfortable with the experience for many people. I joke about the divorce. I joke about bipolar. Maybe that, I'm sure me making bipolar jokes has rubbed somebody the wrong way. And I apologize if that does it, but that's always how I'm going to deal with things, because I like to look at kind of just the irony of life and how things pan out and be like, this is just so goofy sometimes. And also on top of that, like, there's probably people, I would imagine there's at least one person that has been divorced that has heard me take the piss out of it and has felt a little bit less like they're damaged. Which when I very first got divorced, I was really worried about dating specifically. I was like, I don't think anybody's gonna want to date me because I'm gonna have this baggage. You know, they're gonna think that there's something wrong with me. Like I'm undateable. It's like, if I'm divorced, I must have some terrible thing about me that makes me undateable. And that went away, you know, like eventually, because I was involved with people and it was fine and they didn't really think anything of it. Shocker, streamers actually hang out. And so now I feel like if I joke about it, then somebody else will feel like, oh, okay, well, yeah, it can be a funny thing. Shocking. Identifying when it is happening is the first step to isolating it from the way you want your brain to think. Yeah. Stinky Caitlin. Fucking stinky Caitlin. You have definitely helped at least half of Doug's chat. It's that How I Met Your Mother episode when Ted realizes everyone has baggage and they're all just looking for someone else to help us carry ours. How I Met Your Mother is funny. I watched the first couple episodes and I was like, I just want to know how he met the mother, and then I skipped all the way to the end. Divorce is pretty normal and it happens more times passes. Divorce is just a breakup with extra steps. And it doesn't mean that the breakup, like, plenty of people have had worse breakups where they weren't married than a lot of people who were married and had divorces. Like, it is just a more complicated breakup, but it is not necessarily a more toxic or better or worse. You know, it doesn't scale just because you signed papers. So if that's you, don't think that it makes you any more damaged or, stuff like that. How did he meet the mother? You know, the ending, I don't know if you guys agree with this. I thought the ending was kind of lackluster, having only watched the first couple episodes. But reminds me of how I used to skip to the last page of a book before I started reading it. I read once that if you go into a bookstore and you turn to page 100 and then you read that, that'll be a good indicator of if you'll like the book or not. Because it's like you've cut into the fat of it. Too many people think that divorce is worse than living with resentment. I think divorces can be a lot more messy because chances are you hung on longer than you would have if you were dating just because of the implications of it, which can make the breakup messier, you know? This notoriously horrible ending in TV shows. No. It just felt like it was going and going and going, and then it took like a left turn and they just tied up the ends. It seemed like they were 75-80% of the way through the story, and instead of ending it, they just tied up the ends that were there and then said, ship it. I read once that if you go into a bookstore, you poop. Yep. What is it? The Mariko Aoki, something like that. What show is this? How I Met Your Mother. Literally only watched to see more Lily. Yeah. My favorite character was probably Marshall, I think. I don't know. Ted kind of seemed like an asshole. Barney kind of sucked. I didn't like Robin. I don't know. Marshall. They made an alternate ending, which was okay. When did they make it recently? Or like, did they make it right after? Divorce sounds like a bad thing. Well, yeah, I mean, it's like so many things, right? Like, it was a very bad thing to do, you know? It's like the church. It's like, oh man, if you get divorced, you're a bad person. Now it's like, okay, well, we're still in the kind of middle ground of acting like marriages are essential. I'm very happy that I'm seeing, as time goes on, more and more that don't feel like they need to get married to stay in like a long-term committed like relationship. I know a lot of times it feels like, okay, well, you're together and then you are moving towards getting married. And it's like, you don't have to. I don't know. Like, that doesn't need to be an end goal. That can be a side path that you take. I think the alternate ending was what they based Oppenheimer on. Rather get divorced than be the grandparents that despise each other. There could have been a scenario where I had kids and that would have made everything way messier. Hold on. Hold on. What? Hold on. Somebody texted me, was like, hey, we're gonna come over to your house tonight. I was like, nope, you're not doing that. It was John texted me and was like, hey, so we're gonna come over to your guys' house tonight. And I was like, what? I was like, I don't know that this was happening. So maybe I could know this before it's decided. Streamer would have a lot of bring your kids to work days. Yeah. I don't really think I'm kind of on the fence with kids, and I'm on the fence like leaning towards not, because I have never once in my life thought, man, it'd be cool to have kids, and I'm 28. I've never thought that before, and I'm kind of waiting. And when you're growing up, if you're a girl, people always tell you your biological clock will kick in. Turns out there's no such thing as a biological clock, so that's just some bullshit that you get told. And so I was waiting and waiting and waiting, like, okay, well, maybe I'm gonna want to have kids, and I'm 28 and I still have no interest in it. So I think if I were to meet somebody that I could see myself raising a family with, that could happen, but as of right now, that's not in the agenda. So I think that I think I would have to have a conversation with that person, and they would have to be okay with not having kids, because that could very well be the thing. There's a lot of people that really try pressuring you having kids. People can do whatever they want. I think I would be a good mom, but I don't want to be a mom, because I would be the world's best mom that would always be involved in everything, and my kids would be 100% my life, and I don't want that. I don't want somebody else's life to be 100% my life. Because I would not be a half in, half out, like, lazy parent. I would be a all hands on deck parent, and I don't want that. I don't want to give anybody that amount of my life. Even if you charge your mind, adoption is an option most of the time. Yeah, it's expensive. Sometimes. That's the problems I have that I need to work through. I'm so terrified of fucking up a kid. Yeah, that's another thing too, where it's like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm sure I have some demons that need to be dealt with that are not the best as being. Yeah, I kind of wish I had closer siblings to be like a cool aunt or a cool uncle. I have a half sister that I don't really talk to much, and I don't really have relationships with her kids, and I probably never will, just because I don't see myself being in close proximity to her. I don't really know if I've said that on stream before. I might have. There's so many kids out there whose parents aren't conscious of stuff like that. Sure. Kids are so much responsibility. Like, bro, I can barely wake up on time to get breakfast. It's like, I took my medication at 2 o'clock today when I'm supposed to take it at 11. You think I can keep up with somebody else's schedule? Christ. Absolutely fucking not. My sister has 2 young kids that I'm very cool with being an aunt for. Yeah. I wish that I had like a full sibling for 2 reasons. The first is because I want my parents to be able to have grandkids, because they would be fucking awesome. And secondly, I would want to be a cool aunt. But I'll just have to find somebody that has cool nieces or nephews. Introduced my nephew to the last Airburner last week. That's cool. Jake!
What's up, everybody?
I was watching a clip from a YouTube video that is unposted. And and there was a clip of somebody walking into VR and being like, or I think it was VR chat, and being like, "What's up, everybody? I think dogs should vote." And so I will show you where it is when the video is posted. But hello, Jake. Thank you for the 26 months. I'm the cool aunt and it's sick. You would be a fucking cool aunt. You would. You think you would be the kind of mom that posts their kids all over social media? Not as a content creator. I would go like the exact opposite as the family channels. And I said this before, like when I was with my ex, like there was a possibility of us having kids because he really wanted kids. I didn't want kids. That was kind of one of the last nails in the coffin, is he was ready to have kids. I was like, I don't think I want to. But I said before, when I was thinking there may be a possibility of kids, I said the second I had kids, I would quit content creation. Because I'm okay with me being in front of a camera. I'm not okay with somebody who is young. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Jake. Yes. Double down. I think that I mean, everybody's got their own opinions, and when you have kids, you're kind of in the driver's seat there, but I don't like the idea of a child being posted to people that they don't know unconsensually. I don't know. Feels weird. It's not something I had to go through when I was a kid because social media didn't exist. UVC, hello. What do you want? What do you want? Ow, ow, ow! What do you want? Hey, stop. Stop. Hey. She's hungry. I know. I see you. Okay. I have to go feed her. She's going fucking crazy. She'll go crazy. I'll be back in like 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I'll be right back. I grabbed a Kind bar. One of the side effects of working out is you're hungrier. So, that sucks. Can I say something sad? You can, but just know that it's trauma dumping. It depends what it is. I'll allow you to say it, but I want you to know that the reaction might be a little, it's this one. It is, salted caramel dark chocolate almond. Yummy. Gonna get swole. I'm gonna try to I don't really have much of a form, I guess, if you say. So I'm trying to kind of just chisel things out a little bit. Let me scroll up a little bit. I've never pictured myself being pregnant or having kids. That's another thing for me, is the concept of being pregnant scares the shit out of me. I do not want to push a baby out of my body. I don't want to do that. It costs a lot of money. There's a whole part of yourself also so different from moms and dads. Yeah. I'm falling asleep. Okay, you guys are just saying the lyrics. This is good. Are you prepping for Creator Clash? No. I wanted to do it, but I don't really have any way to get my foot in the door there. That'd be cool though. I was hanging out with Emily. I was hanging out with Emily the other night, and me and extra Emily are like similar size, and I arm wrestled her, and full respect to Emily, she is a sweet angel. I don't think I've ever arm wrestled anybody in my life that has had less upper body strength. I literally was just sitting there holding my arm just because I didn't want to do it yet. I was just like waiting. Like I was just like, okay. So we are similar size, and I would love to fight her in Creator Clash. I don't know if I can hit her though. I'd feel bad because she's really sweet and also small. You went full farm girl on her. It felt good. It felt badass. But she may be weaker than me. But she quadruples my numbers, so we each have something. My ex had tocopia, and I learned a lot about terrifying kind of complications that can come with pregnancy, like long term too. One thing that scares the shit out of me is I almost said post-mortem. What do you call it? Postpartum depression. That scares me really bad. I'm strong. I'm gonna get strong. Look at my arm muscles. Look how much different it looks between now and when I flex. There's literally like no difference if I do this or if I flex. Like I get the line here, but there's no it literally doesn't go up like at all. I know. There's nothing. There's nothing. I'm mentally ill as fuck, but on the right meds for me right now, and I'm so afraid of having to go off on one. Yeah, exactly. It's like I've got my meds leveled out. We're good. Can we just, I don't want to fuck anything up there. Have you got a bit of definition? Just wait. Just give it a bit. I'm gonna need a lot more protein. I know. I actually am going to need to. I was just saying, like, I'm really hungry today. And King has been sending me workouts. So today I went to the gym. And I followed my little workout routine. And I even Googled. There was a couple of them that I Googled. Just so I could watch a video and...
The time is 7:33.
Thank you. I did the protein instead of sweet stuff. I wish I liked protein shakes. There's no flavor of protein shake that I like because I hate the concept of a protein shake because it's just kind of gross to me. But I do a lot of protein bars, and I also just eat meat, I guess. I don't know. Taco Bell is our church. Red bean paste ice cream bars today? Oh, that sounds kind of weird. Yeah, Doggist. You have to add so much to them. I don't like them. Greek yogurt? Oh, okay. I like Greek yogurt sometimes. My aunt was one of the Andrea Yates psychologists. If you don't know that story, it's not fun. I'm curious. Buying a clock that announces the time at stupid intervals. That is actually really funny. Wait, I'm sure that, Cyril with the $50!
Sandwich for Creator Flash 3.
Look, my forearms look jacked. Bop, 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 bop. 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 Cyril, thank you for the $50! Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. Creator Clash. I'm not in Creator Clash. I want to be. But I think that they already, from what I've, like, heard, I think that they might have a lot of the people in it. I don't know. Have you seen the drama with Book Talk and the hockey player? I have not. But did you guys see that Twitter came up with their slogan? Let's see. Is there a way I can see this? Sorry, not Twitter, X. It's not even X. Not XCOM. This is the new slogan of X. Blaze your glory. It doesn't even have anything to do with, like, the whole platform is people, like, writing little blurbs or thoughts that they have. So what the fuck does Blaze your glory makes it seem like it's some sort of, like, X Games motorbike. This, if you looked at this, be honest, you look at this, what do you think this app is? Because I would assume it's like some sort of motocross app. I don't even know what that means. Porn? Yeah, true. Like Blaze Your Glory. Yeah. A dating app? Maybe? Or like ice skating clips? App that controls your weed vape?
14 months being a chat sandwich.
Bubbles, thank you for the 10 months. It's a cross. Oh my gosh. That, yeah, if you turned it sideways and made it into a cross and then Blaze Your Glory could be kind of like a uh-oh, Elon. Bubbles, thank you for the 14. It would track, to be honest. Yeah, Extreme Sports hookup dating app. That's fucking awesome. Book Talk is doing what now? To anyone who wants the context because they're most nosy. I just recently found out what Book Talk is. And Book Talk is basically like people seeing situations and then like shipping them. Right? So it's like they find a situation, like two people, and then they like ship them or create like a narrative about them. Am I right? Hold on, we can do this. What is Book Talk? Everything you need to know about Book Talk. Book Talk is a sub-community on the app TikTok that focuses on books and literature. Creators make... No, that's not. So it's fanfic talk. Yeah, basically, it's creating fanfic of situations. So, then we've got this little ditty. Basically, hockey romances are super popular on Book Talk. The Seattle Krakens, a hockey team, became really popular amongst Book Talk people, and some erotica and just general thirst was written about them, including team member Alex Wenberg. The Seattle Kraken TikTok account was playing into the hype the boys would get on Book Talk, which included giving Book Talk creator Kiera Lewis the gift just a few months ago. But 2 days ago, Felicia Wenberg called out Book Talk for sexually assaulting her husband, Alex, which included a screenshot of Kira saying she wants him to break her back. She thought it was finally crossed the line, but wished no ill will on Book Talk, just wanted people to stop. Book Talk, I think Nick is Not Green made a video about this. Let me look and see how long it is. 'Cause I do love a Nick is Not Green. Book Talk's response to this drama is gross. I think that this is a 36-minute long video though. It gets weird when you're making stuff about real life people. Well, that's what it is it's like basically shipping real life people and creating these fanfics about them. Then yesterday her husband Alex spoke up and essentially, also obviously trigger alert, sexual assault. I don't know a lot about this, but you know. Spoke up about essentially agreed with her and spoke about the comments on his and his teammates' personal social media accounts. Over the last couple of days, me and especially my wife have been getting a lot of criticism about speaking up on sexually harassment on TikTok. As someone who's been media trained my whole career, I've been taught to bite my tongue and to leave it instead of making a statement, but it has gone too far for me to stay quiet when people post vile comments on my wife's Instagram and on photos of our child. The reason my wife said something and not me is simply she does it better and more bravely than me. I'm all for the Book Talk community and write books and fiction about hockey, but the aggressive language about real life players is too much. It has turned into daily and weekly comments on our personal social media. This is not something we support or want our child to grow up with. All we ask is for a little respect and common sense regarding moving forward. We can all take a joke and funny comments, but when it turns personal and into something bigger that affects our family, we need to tell you that we have had enough. Enough of the sexual harassment and harassment of our character and our relationship. Thank you for understanding. Shipping fictional characters can already go over the line. IRL is just wild. Well, also, like, a lot of times, like, shipping completely will go across any bounds. You get a lot of like minor situation. You get a lot of like family shit. Like, people just suddenly break all the bounds of like who the characters are in whatever piece of media it is, and it gets fucking weird, you know? Nuclear Book Talk isn't that though. This is just about one book a lot of people talked about. It's become kind of like a meme, like you see on comment sections of TikToks, like, wait until Book Talk finds out about this. And it's just because, yeah, people will ship it like immediately. Well-measured response. This is a really good response. And now Book Talk, mainly Kiera Lewis, with others just supporting her, is in a tailspin, arguing that the Seattle Krakens only used Book Talk for promotion clout and that their actions are being blown out of proportion.
And let me just say this, because it's pissing me off that I'm seeing my name being dragged on people's social medias when, bitch, I keep telling y'all, I'm not the one. It's come to my attention that I'm not even gonna say people or a whole group of fucking people, because the views tell the fucking opposite. It's come to my attention that a couple of fucking people aren't a fan of me saying crack my back. For one, let's get one thing fucking straight. The original saying was break my back. That it pisses me off that these Facebook people want to come to TikTok and want to make us take this app seriously, when the whole reason why we are on TikTok, our generation is on TikTok, is because it's an entertainment. It's a one place where we can just have fun and not really take things or take life serious. So to see,
I think I'm a little confused. Is this person the person that made the comments about the hockey player? Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. What I'm understanding is that Book Talk was kind of creating a narrative about this hockey team because is it like hot dudes playing hockey kind of scenario. This person in particular said something really inappropriate, and then the hockey players and their partners or this one hockey player and their partners are saying like, you guys got to stop. Am I understanding this correctly? Yes. Okay. Starting a full-on mudslinging fight over the right to say break my back is not how you get a platform taken seriously. Yeah, it's like, what do you, like, you're just using different language to say, I want this person to heck me a lot, which is weird, you know? That's a weird thing to say about somebody that doesn't even know you exist.
See my name being dragged with all these false accusations is fucking,
like if I saw a post, right? If I saw a post from somebody that I didn't know that was saying they wanted to do XYZ to me, like I'm gonna look at that and immediately just be disgusted and like, what the fuck is that? Like that's fucking weird. Like I don't want to know in my head that people are thinking that about me, regardless. And then if it was as if the person were to argue with me about it, be like, no, it's cool. And like, unfortunately, like me being a girl kind of puts it into perspective because I think that like, you know, people it's the like, oh, well, if that was a girl, it wouldn't be okay. Well, it's like now I'm using that in my argument of like, yeah, obviously, right?
Mind when I was doing these reactions when back in the country streets when Luke Bryan's wife would literally repost my fucking videos about him thinking it was funny. I've had other celebrities repost my reactions thinking it was funny. Their girlfriends, hell, their even moms would send it to them like, girl, she's so funny.
It doesn't matter, dude. Like just because other people think, if you say something to 10 people and 9 of the people laugh and think that it's funny and the 10th person is uncomfortable by it, you don't need, it's not a poll. Like we're not voting on whether you're allowed to say the thing. Like you just realize either A, that's an inappropriate thing to say to people, or B, you realize, okay, these are people I can say this to, this person I can't, you know? The first one's ideal.
About like how hot you are. So now to be in a conversation where people are the same people that was literally saying, oh, my husband is the book talks panty dropper, my name is being dragged. I don't know, it's just literally pissing me the fuck off. Especially when I tell y'all all the fucking time. These 30-second, 45-second videos is just for fun. I make these videos and I go out and live my life with my friends and my family. I genuinely don't.
This is the weirdest argument.
Seriously. And to say that, it's like, half the people I react to, more than half of them, girl, I don't even follow them on social media. I don't keep up with their life. I genuinely don't really give a damn. And I damn sure don't be fucking DMing them. The fuck do Kiara fucking
This is the problem. Like, I will talk about this all day long. Gets me all riled up. And I think I get riled up about it because I haven't been in the internet world that long, like only 3 years. There are so many things that you don't need to take to the internet about. I see it on Twitlongers, right? Like everybody's all quick to jump to Twitter when they have a interaction with somebody else that's not good. Like I see so many times that people will get into kerfuffles, is that a good word, with their friends, and then they make Twitlongers about it. And it's like, I'm very, very sorry that you had a confrontation or a bad experience or an argument with your friend. But what you're doing is you're appeasing to the masses to try to validate what your point of view was. I think that it is a good idea to go to Twitter, go to a social media platform when the person that you're talking about could potentially be a danger to more people. That is a good use of social media. If you get into an argument with somebody, that is not a good use of social media. Xlongers now, yeah. In addition to that, with TikTok, people will do shitty things and then they will post them on TikTok or whatever because there's gonna be other people that agree with them. There's 8 billion people out there. You can have the shittiest opinion on the internet and somebody will agree with you. So what they're doing is they're just like spreading their shit opinion out, hoping that they get a couple bites, and then they go, okay, I'm not the only one that thinks that.
Always look like I don't DM these fucking people. So to see these accusations or to see people mad about me saying crack my fucking back, baby, it's TikTok. People are making a fucking salary doing AI. We don't take shit seriously. And unless you're a chiropractor, you really can't crack my back. Now I'm gonna go back. I just have to get this off my chest because
Now she's actually arguing about the legitimacy of the thing. She's like, well, he couldn't actually crack my back. All right. Great. What is that supposed to do? You know what I mean? My camera is oh, there we go. Okay. My camera. Okay, can we just good? There we go. Good. Can we move over here? Maybe a little bit. That's okay. I love when people write, "Am I the asshole?" knowing that they all are looking for people who agree with them and no one does. Yeah. Am I the asshole has become kind of boring. It used to be a really fun thing to watch on or read on stream, but now it's just like you read the stream title or you read the title, you read like the first couple lines, and you're like, yeah, they're the asshole. Yeah.
bitch, I can't talk to my therapist right now, but please, unless you know me, don't have me on your social media. Don't have my name in your fucking mouth, because, girl, I'm not the fucking one. Like,
You gotta be fucking kidding me right now. What? Huh?
Like, it literally blows my mind. I'm like, girl, we're gonna leave it there. Go back to Facebook if y'all not liking this book talk, TikTok shit, but don't try to come over here and tell us what to fucking do. And let me just...
I don't even need to say anything.
And then, update, I just found out that I was unfollowed by the Seattle Kraken.
No shit you were unfollowed by him. No shit.
Because someone who literally was just feeding into the whole book talk thing. Oh yeah, my husband, book talk, love him, da-da-da. Someone who was just feeding into it now is resurfacing or now switching sides and saying, oh, because of this video 4 months ago, I'm not a fan, I don't like it. For one, like I said again, bitch.
Am I rooting for or against this woman?
Everything
Against.
that comes...
TLDR for anybody coming in. Book Talk was making sexual comments about this hockey team. And doing fanfic about them. The hockey team, a lot of them thought it was funny, but some of them said, please don't do that. Like, I have a wife, I have a child, I don't really need the internet sexualizing me. And then Book Talk was like, we can do whatever we want. You can't tell us what to do. This is ridiculous that you're trying to tell us. We were joking anyways, but also we can do what we want to do. So this lady is one of the Book Talk people who's all hot and bothered that she was told not to do a thing because people didn't like it, and now she's throwing herself about it.
Comes out of my mouth is a fucking joke. I don't follow half these people. I don't damn sure don't.
Which a definitive statement is, which you see this time and time again, when people get embarrassed, they get upset. That's like so common. So that is like, this is like a prime example of that. Is like she got embarrassed, and so instead of apologizing or thinking about the situation, she's getting upset.
Them. But what also pisses me off about, like, I've noticed with musicians and also like sports teams, they like to use Book Talk to like get clout, and then they'll like skirt to the side of them and move on to like the next thing, and I'm not fucking rocking with that. And yeah, I'm pissed the fuck off, and which is a rare thing for me, but yeah, I'm pissed the fuck off. The way all of this, I've been having a good ass fucking week, a good ass life, then the way this shit just blindsided me. And also for me to sit here and see that post that woman posted of me, and me being an adult and literally message her and say, hey, if you got a problem with it or whatever, of a video I post.
What do you mean you're being adult? You are acting like people did when they were in middle school about Edward Cullen. That, like, you were having the same visceral reaction that a bunch of middle schoolers had when they saw Twilight for the first time. Okay? So don't call it being an adult.
Posted 4 months ago, say the word, the video is fucking deleted. Any video is deleted. I haven't even spoke of that man on my fucking page since the beginning of hockey or whatever. So if you got a problem with it, just let me know. Speak to me as a woman.
Just
didn't get no
posting.
fucking response. So I'm pissed the fuck off.
Write your fanfic about a fictional character on some weird forum without your name attached that nobody will ever find, like a normal person, okay? Come on. People are so brave about being fucking weird.
And that's my biggest issue. Like, the reason why Book Talk...
This says the Kraken TikTok page literally made dozens of thirst traps of their players to get Book Talk hype. But their issue is with you? ?
Even was aware of The Krakens, or hell, half these hockey teams is when they started doing all the slow-mos. Hey, Book Talk, look at us, look at us. And the reason why I was even flown out
because
of the
you
vlogs
absolute idiot, it's okay for people to sexualize themselves. You know? I could post a picture of me with cleavage, hypothetically, which I can't. Hypothetically, if I had boobs and I could post a picture of me with cleavage, I can do that all I want. If somebody comes in and they're like, nice tits, and I don't like that, that's within my right too. Allegedly, hypothetically, I could, not now, but after a couple $1,000s.
Seattle Kraken game, the Alex Winberg video that fucking went viral.
There's a multiverse where I could do that.
Person doing this and nobody was aware. Everybody was, oh, crack my back. This is hilarious. And now even the wife even said on her social media, I was doing it too, but now I've just had a change of heart. Okay, so why don't you come after every single person? Why would you literally just put my name on it? And might I mention, you're coming after a black woman? Okay, yeah, I didn't like that. Now, this is the last video you're gonna see me talking about this, because I gotta calm myself down. I gotta get back to reading.
Yeah. I kind of thought that card would be pulled. I was hoping it wouldn't be. That is a son of a bitch.
My fourth wing, we got reactions coming tomorrow. But yeah, I don't like the shady shit of like y'all post thousands of fucking, not thousands, at least 20 of the slow-mos. This is for Book Talk. This is the...
Yeah, it is. It's shameless. And like, I mean, again, is this my place to have an opinion? No, but I'm going to give it. Like, it seems like it would water down when people are actually expressing the hardships of people of color. You know, when you get situations like this, then it would seem like it would just like water down a lot of people expressing legitimate hardships, right? You hoping to, is this a worse apology than ukulele? I don't know. Let's see if she puts it on Spotify. There's definitely a dynamic where when things like this or not like this blow up, people involved that aren't white can often get disproportionate blowback. Yes, 100%. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a tough one because then when you pull the card, then you get people that go, okay, I'm no longer going to touch this one. You know what I mean? I don't know who the lady is talking about, but I support sandwiches steak. Thanks, Charlie. Disabled, and you're gonna tell me I can't draw the Baltimore Ravens sucking and fucking in the middle of the field. God. Shit. I stopped participating in online fandom culture in a long time ago because I learned firsthand how they can sometimes ruin being a fan of something or communicating with too many fans. Not everybody wants to appreciate their favorite fandom with their clothes off, you know? Like, I have a favorite franchise. I don't actually know if I do. If I had a favorite franchise, I don't necessarily want to read about them all fucking each other, okay? Like, that's not everybody wants that. So let's just keep it in a corner of the internet where people know where to find it if they want it. You know, we don't need to come forward and say, you're fucking assholes because I decided that I wanted all the hockey players to fuck each other and you said no because they're real people. Hi, Oxy. But Sarah's all, Spyro Subway exists, so that whole thing has been ruined for me. Except the animated ones. This is why Tumblr is vital to the world. Where would that location be if I was to hypothetically... I don't even know, actually. I bet there's somebody in chat that does.
Book Talk Thirst Trap. And then now oh my gosh, she's mad. Let's unfollow. Let's like clear our tracks. And now have my name being ran in the mud. Key don't play. I don't play like that.
I think there's one more.
And what's pissing me the most off about this entire situation, whether it be this Felicia chick or the Seattle Krakens themselves, for one, bitch.
Isn't Felicia like the wife of one of the people that you said you wanted to crack your back? This fucking bitch, random lady, just, I mean, she's married to him, but that's irrelevant. This is a screenshot from my video. I never meant any harm. I've never messaged him or anyone. Break my back was just a saying. Get out of the way. God damn it.
And what's pissing me what's pissing me the most off about this entire situation.
Just move a little bit so I can read it. Move a little bit so I can read it. It was just saying on TikTok, so naturally crack was said. Wait, what? Is she trying to add a K to the word crack and then loophole it and say, well, they're the Krakens? I'm truly sorry and will delete any and all videos you'd like. Confused on what's going on. I something Kraken videos since I stopped making videos about blank, found out he was married. I am truly sorry. I've never DM or even followed your husband, but now it seems like I'm the new target since my name is in your story. This is a tough watch because it's exploded so much. Yeah, it's wild. Like if she just say my B won't happen again, she would look good. We would not be here because that's the thing, is people want drama. So what she's doing is she's perpetuating the drama, and then people want to know what's going on. That's literally what we're doing right now. But if people go, my bad, I was wrong, then people are like, that's boring. I don't want that.
This Felicia chick or the Seattle Krakens themselves, for one, bitch, I'm so heartbroken because I was like, finally, for the first time, I had something that was outside of books that I fell in love with, was literally gonna buy 30 people from my book club us tickets to go see them this fall. Now, I don't even fucking know, but let's go into me being the adult and messaging Felicia Winberg yesterday when I saw her make a story about me and Book Talk. I literally said, hey, this is a screenshot from my video. I never meant any harm. I've never messaged him or anyone, because on her story, she was like, well, people are DMing. And so I broke it down for her because she also said she wasn't a fan of Crack My Back. I said, break my back was just a saying on TikTok, so naturally crack was said, but I am so sorry and will delete any and all videos you want. I was so serious. I will literally delete whatever videos you fucking wanted, but you needed to respond. I said, I'm confused on what's going on because this video was posted on 4/26. And then I continue saying all this, just read. And what I also didn't like is her first post was about this, how she said she used to call her husband Book Talk's panty dropper, Book Talk Wonka, whatever. And now she's having a change of heart.
Panty dropper, Book Talk, hawk. What did she say? Hold on, I gotta go back and...
Like is her first post was about this, how she said she used to call her husband Book Talk's panty dropper, Book Talk Wonka, whatever.
Panty dropper, Book Talk Wonka. Fellas, if she's not calling you panty dropper, Book Talk Wonka, then she's not doing enough, and do not accept any less. Also, that is her husband, so if you want to call your partners panty dropper, Book Talk Wonka, that's fine. That's okay.
And now she's having a change of heart. But what I found so slick was, why did you cover up this person's name? But when it came to the post about me, the next post, you literally kept my name on there, trying to send whoever, you and your little goons, to come after me. And yeah, this was her whole slick thing. But my issue of the matter is, for you, I always say people want to ride Book Talk coattail for the clout and then switch up. You were just calling your husband what? Book Talk?
It's like, it's so easy to understand. Like, Book Talk was giving these guys attention. They were kind of like, ooh, like for me, right? If somebody made like a fan cam, one of those fan cam things, I'd be like, oh, that's kind of funny, you know? If I like had some sort of like, I don't know. There's a level when you're any kind of person with a platform that you realize that your fans are kind of, you're maybe a little thirst trappy. I don't know. There's a level of like, oh, that's kind of funny. Okay, yeah. But then there's a line, and when you cross that line, people are allowed to say no thank you. So they weren't clout chasing. They were riding a wave that they were comfortable with until you crossed the line. And that's a real thing at hockey games. Yep. Fan cams are funny. I know people get uncomfortable by them. Like, there's Eric fan cams, and they crack me up. They're so funny to me. The thing we thirst for is Okie head pats.
We had your dinner and you're so tired now.
Sleeping. The only thirst traps I make are booby traps into the basement water slide. Fuck yeah, bud. Get her being upset if she was the only one called out for it when many others were doing it and they only called her out. Unless if she was being like the loudest one, you know, because obviously they want to attach a face to like what's going on. So if everybody else was making like anonymous whatever and then she wasn't, I could definitely see why they were like, okay, you.
What? Now you're having a change of heart.
It's so yeah, Book Talk has just been turning a lot on Alex and his wife, mainly implying that the wife is insecure and should apologize to Kira, and that they use black creators for popularity to play victim about it later. Here's an old Kira video for context. Okay, so this is, I'm once again going to clarify because I know that there's people shuffling in and out. What we're looking at is there is a hockey team. These people, well, I'm not going to go into what Book Talk is because I think at this point it's not relevant. There's people, Book Talk, whatever. Yeah, he's an attractive guy. Sure. That's all you need to say about it. Would that hurt his feelings? Probably not. There's a bunch of people that were making thirst traps about him. The hockey team kind of thought it was funny. They leaned into it. And then it got to the point where they were sexualizing him too much. And him and his wife were like, okay, I think we're done with this. This is a little bit too much for us. And the people that were doing it were like, fuck you. We're allowed to say what we want on the internet.
Alex Woodburn! Baby, I may not got 5 holes, but I got 3. And since you're so good at assisting, why don't you assist your teammates in scoring in all 3 of my holes? Hello! Woo! Just look at that face. Don't it just scream? Sit on it. Hello! When I tell y'all I wake up every day praying to Jesus to turn me into ice, cause what I wouldn't give to have this man glide on me. Hello, Alex, I know you just signed to the Seattle Kraken, but what's a sister gotta do to have you crack this back? Hello, girl.
I like thought that I thought that it was gonna be bad, but not that bad. Just kind of the line of like, okay, it made him uncomfortable, but that's like, she's pulling all the punches right now.
Oh, the eyes on this man could literally, he could suck my, well, I could do whatever. The eyes on this man is insane. Literally, he could snatch.
I hate to do this because I hate that this is the only way that you can get people to understand sometimes, but roles reversed. People would be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like if somebody made a TikTok about me saying all of the things that she's saying, I would be pissed. I would be pissed.
That's my soul from me, and I will say thank you. So yeah, Alex, when you done playing your little game, go on and spit out that mouthpiece, cause I got something else you can not spit on. Well, you can do that too, but I got something else to put in your mouth. Hello, Alex.
Funny screenshot. What the hell? Not even reverse the roles if she was one saying it, but about a woman. Yeah. Yeah, how is she not embarrassed to post it? I can't relate to this kind of shit, but I do jokingly get hyped up when baseball players perfectly shaped eyebrows, not sexually, but because they're naturally shaped. I think that there's a lot of things that are like normalized and probably fine. Like, I think that just the general, like, there's just kind of this cultural, like, appreciation of athletes, right? It's like, oh, here's people that are in, like, the peak physical shape, right? Like, we've kind of normalized that. Like, this is just straight up, like, they called it, like, sexual assault up higher. And when they said sexual assault, my brain was kind of like, okay, it's, like, you know, I'm not gonna tell people what isn't and what is, but I was thinking in my head, I was like, TikToks. Okay, so they weren't near each other. Like I'm really curious as to like where this is gonna go. But watching this now, it's like, yeah. Harassment, I guess, sexual harassment. They said sexual assault and then they said harassment later, I think. Twitter author does clarify the wife said sexual harassment, not assault. Okay, so it did say assault, but then that's not, whatever. Sexual harassment. Juniper, thank you for the 2 months. Appreciate it. Yeah, I kind of paused this somewhere weird. So literally nobody is hot enough to act like this. No, yeah. This dude is like default man 01. Like, create a character before you've adjusted anything. Yeah, he like you could be literally like the world's most attractive person and it still would not warrant. New Stardew Valley. Oh, it just dropped? Oh, Stardew like. Oh, because I know Stardew Valley was having an update soon.
Woodbird! Baby, I mean I got 5 holes, but I got 3.
Oh, we already watched it. Some late additions, corrections. Felicia used the phrase sexual harassment, not sexual assault. I misquoted her accidentally. The video in the last tweet was seemingly the screenshotted TikTok in Felicia's second story, so she likely watched it. Kira has now deleted it. Video I posted above got deleted for some reason, but I found someone to repost it on TikTok. Wow, that is a lot. Yeah, see, they were kind of entertaining it for a bit. They were like, this is funny. So they gave her a jersey that said book talk, and then she pushed it too far. Also, what is 5 holes? Yeah, I was also kind of wondering that. What is the 5 holes reference? Is that a hockey reference? Is this hockey? Hit me with your card tweets I find kind of weird and off-putting, but like if I was getting tweets like that for an online presence, I wouldn't have been bothered as I would of a video like this. Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. It's a hockey thing? 5 hole is when the puck goes between the goalie's legs. Oh. Overplayed sexual hyping once, funny. Twice, okay. Sequels still can be good. 3 times, I'm starting to see a pattern, but get defensive, it's distasteful. I mean, it all goes back to if you do anything and the person that you did it to tells you, I'm uncomfortable, please stop, and you continue doing that thing in any capacity, you're in the wrong and you suck. Maybe you don't suck, but you're an asshole in that moment. It's just there. I don't know if there's any exceptions to that. I can't think of any exceptions. Unless you're tickling somebody. Which even then, that's still kind of a gray area. Shout out to the hockey knowers in chat educating me on that term. Yep. Upper shoulder, side hips, in between legs. 5. Ah, okay. Apologies are far less important than actually changing behavior to me. Yeah, I agree. This could have just been done privately. Like the wife could have just told her privately she didn't like the person, could have said sorry and not do it and not make multiple posts about it. Well, I think, you know, she originally made TikToks about it. The wife matched it by making posts about it. And then after that, I think it can be dealt with however, but, you know, not all of this could have been done privately. I think when you're also dealing with social media, sometimes it can't be done privately because they can't get in contact with each other. You know, wasn't that woman? It was on tons of people, so she can't DM every person commenting on their post. Yeah, that's true. Like there was a bunch of people posting it, not just this one person. Baseball and soccer players get sexualized a lot, but that is one of the craziest videos I've ever seen about an athlete. That's what I was just saying, is like I think that athletes get sexualized a lot, and I'm not saying that it's okay. It's definitely not okay to like sexualize somebody without their consent, but I do think that a lot of them are totally fine with it because they're like, yeah, I work out all the time and I'm really good at sports and everybody thinks I'm hot and fuck yeah, let's, you know, that's awesome. But that is not, oh my gosh, this hockey, like, oh my gosh, Like if I was in a relationship with somebody and somebody posted on Twitter, "Oh my gosh, so-and-so is so hot," I'd be like, hell yeah they are. But if they were like, "I want so-and-so to me, and then I want them to stick their in my, and then I want them to do the with me, and then I want on their until they," like I'd be like, okay, maybe we don't need to take it to that level. Like maybe we don't need to go there on Maine. You know what I mean? I hate that so much. People be too horny on Maine. They really do. Excellent use of the censor tone. I was definitely saying things then. They should just keep these thoughts to themselves. Exactly. That's normal. Like, if you think that so-and-so's hot and you have thoughts, keep them in your brain. Do not let them leak into real life, because then that is bad. That's the filthiest thing I've ever heard. Well, you haven't been on Book Talk then, apparently. At this point, we're not even talking about gender roles and reversing roles. It's just insane behavior. Absolutely. That clip you were saying, whatever you said about Cillian Murphy was like tame. Wait, did I say something about Cillian Murphy? I also saw my YouTube recommended a video of Cillian Murphy saying that his name is Cillian Murphy. Like kill. Also, Super Mega is trending right now, which is Sag. Reminds me of a Jasmine Rice Girl tweet. What was that tweet? Was it icky? Or what was the context? It was a silly joke that you find him good looking. Isn't that the one where your dad comes into chat? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think so. The Super Mega stuff is so gross. Yeah, I saw that Matt made a response video, and I haven't watched it yet. I watched, yeah, it's yucky. I said this before, this is such a yucky situation because I know these people, like both Lex and Leighton are both like friends of mine. And so it's just like, yeah, Nick's video is probably really like the best one that I can recommend. Like, yeah. What is Super Mega? Super Mega is a YouTube channel that has had over the last couple months a lot of allegations on members of their team, and a lot of people are coming forward and saying that they've been doing some pretty yucky stuff. OG YouTube, yeah, pretty OG YouTube. I don't really know exactly their lineage, but were friends with a lot of people that I was friends with. I watched Matt's. I haven't watched it yet. I probably will soon. You've said him in Peaky Blinders does it. Yeah, Cillian Murphy and Peaky Blinders is... They were the Game Grumps editors. Yeah, I think that they worked with Markiplier and then Game Grumps, and then they started doing their own YouTube stuff, and yeah, they've just kind of just been around. Not an OG channel per se. Yeah, when I think of OG, I think of like Jenna Marbles, I think of like Shane Dawson, I think of like Ray William Johnson, which that I realize is OG to people my age, but I think OG to some people is like Markiplier, like who else would be OG? Like the next level of OG. Tommy Shelby, Peaky fucking Blinders. Yeah, when you guys think of OG YouTube, who do you guys think of? Because I have like who I started watching. They were kind of funny at first, but really got stuck on like edgy 8th grader humor. Yeah, they have some videos that I've watched. When I very first moved to LA, Barry was showing me a bunch of YouTube channels and giving me YouTube lore, and Super Mega was one of the channels that he really liked and watched. So I know he's really, really bummed about. Sucks. That's something I was talking about the other day when I was talking about moving to LA. Like, being in LA sucks because it's a lot of like meeting your heroes, and shocker, they're not all great people. Tyler Oakley, yeah. There's a video that I watched, Anthony Padilla. I think Anthony Padilla is somebody that I would get really like nervous if I met, because I love his videos. Anthony Padilla, I think, got me back into YouTube. Never watched Smosh. But he did a video recently that was I spent a day with like OG YouTubers. Which I love Anthony Padilla videos, so good. But OG YouTubers, which is really good. Tyler Oakley's in here. There's some other people that I don't know, but Anthony is one to be nervous in front of. You know, he'd be so sweet about it. Yeah. I there's no doubt in my mind that he would be really, really kind. Yeah. Love Tyler so much. I never watched Tyler's videos back in the day, but I have mutuals with Tyler. So I only really know of him recently. Did you see the Smosh video where Ethan is in it? No, I didn't. I was a Barry YouTube recommended watching list. I want a Barry. I can tell you who'd be on it, probably. Tyler telling the meet and greet story cracked me the fuck up. I haven't finished this video. We could watch it. Also, Daily Dose is on here. Vsauce would be good. Brittany Broski would be good. I watched the Curtis Connor one. It says I only watched half of it, but I think I watched all of it. iDubbbz would probably be good. I'm trying to think of who these people that I know, not personally, even just like know of. Cuties is good. I watched that one. Ludwig has one in here that's good too. Brittany's my favorite internet person. Yeah, Brittany Broski's really funny. We can watch this.
Happy with what
We have about 30 minutes left in stream. You guys want to watch an Anthony Padilla video? You can watch this one. OG YouTubers. Let's see. What did it do? 6 million? Oh, because this is when they bought Smosh. The variation in views is interesting. Like, look, 900,000, 500,000, 2.8 million, 100,000, 1.6 million, 100,000, 6 million, 700,000, 2.7 million, 1.2 million. This is like a really wide array of like views. I want to watch the inside of my eyelids. Charlie, have a good night. Watch Trixie Mattel puts Brittany Broski in drag. I think I've seen clips of that. A movie. Is everybody cool if we watch Arrival? Is everybody cool with that? Because we've been talking about it like every movie Monday, and I think that maybe we should just check it off the list. It's a great movie. It's a paranormal movie. I think right now is a great time to watch it. Oh, before we decide on, maybe we'll watch this OG YouTuber one. Before we decide to watch it though, I was talking about this with somebody earlier. Do you guys know about the War of the Worlds podcast? Because that is one of the most interesting pieces of history that I've ever heard. I kind of want to make a video about it while this alien stuff is relevant. Never heard of it. Okay, so what do you mean radio show? This is really fun. You guys are going to love this. So there is a movie called War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning and I think Joaquin Phoenix. No, Joaquin Phoenix is in Signs. I don't remember the name of the kid. And it is about aliens that come down to Earth and invade humans. What people don't know is that War of the Worlds is actually based on a podcast that was broadcasted in the 30s. And it was a Orwell radio show. Yeah, that's true. Podcast is not a thing. Radio show. Sorry. Orson Welles. Sorry, Orson Welles. I don't listen to radio. I only listen to podcasts. It's funny. It was an Orson Welles written radio show, and basically what it was is them talking about aliens coming down and invading Earth in the this is happening right now perspective. And people weren't ready for that kind of media, And so it caused mass hysteria. People were packing their houses up. They were packing up their families. They were calling the police. They were getting ready to leave the country because they thought that aliens were invading. And what people don't know additionally is they didn't just broadcast this in the United States, they did it in other countries. And the reaction in other countries was even worse, to the point where people were burning down the radio towers. They were actually going full Y2K panic. And so they had to make an emergency broadcast and say, this is not real. This isn't happening. Everybody just hold on to your pants. Like, aliens are not invading. And so that was just kind of like a historical thing. And then they made movies about it later. And War of the Worlds kind of just became synonymous with like the Tom Cruise movie, which we watched in Discord once. How would burning down the towers stop the aliens? I listened to a podcast about it, and it was just like a whole bunch. As much as I want to laugh at that, I feel really bad for the people who legit thought the end of the world was coming. I mean, media like that just wasn't around. It just wasn't the same. My great granddad told me that his family went to a bunker for a week before the police came and told him the whole truth. I wonder if there's a video on it. War of the Worlds radio broadcast. I want a little documentary about it, but like not long. A broadcast that terrified a nation. Inside the mind. Inside a mind. The story behind the worlds. Tripod spotted. I wonder if any of these videos are going to be good.
The Columbia Broadcasting System and its affiliated stations present Orson Welles and the Mercury Theater on the Air in The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells.
On October 31st, 1938, a radio broadcast was transmitted across the United States of America claiming that alien life forms from the planet Mars had invaded Earth.
I think we'll watch this because this will be a good pivot into the movie we're watching.
Causing a widespread panic across the country, with angry mobs forming in the streets and reports of people taking their own lives after jumping off of buildings. Or at least, that's the story we've been told. Today we explore one of the biggest events in the history of broadcasting, Orson Welles' War of the Worlds.
This is like one of those like pieces of history that like whenever I talk about it, people don't know about, that to me is like so crazy, like cool. Obviously not cool in like a cool, but you know what I mean? I didn't, King.
We begin our journey with the man behind the curtain, George Orson Welles, born on May 6, 1915. Growing up, he garnered a passion for performing arts and radio, and wound up with an acting job at the Gate Theatre in Dublin during 1931, after reportedly walking into the building claiming to be a Broadway star. No one believed him, of course, but his passion and confidence at just the age of 16 couldn't be overlooked, so they gave him a job right there and then. As the months went on, he began dabbling in script writing and directing.
Orson, he wrote 1984, whatever that book is. And then I don't remember what else he wrote. He just, like, if you don't know who he is, which I imagine most people do, basically he was big for writing like a lot of like dystopian kind of thought-provoking takes on society. You know what I mean?
Eventually landing a job on American radio during 1934, working behind the scenes for several
Orson
shows.
Welles was a movie
sometimes
person. Who wrote fucking who wrote George Orwell? Oh, all right, I'm an idiot. I lied entirely.
Credits. The money he earned from the radio went towards his own theatre production
Citizen
called
Kane?
The Mercury Theatre. The productions put together were some of the best anyone had ever seen.
With 4 hit shows in its first year, the Mercury might well close its door on a season unparalleled in Broadway history. But Mr. Welles has long been working on a project for a greater audience. the Broadways of the entire United States.
The success of the Mercury Theatre garnered the interest of the radio station CBS, who offered Wells his own show which would later be called the Mercury Theatre on the Air. The series would be a weekly show, broadcasting over the summer of 1938, each one being an hour-long adaptation of historical pieces of literature. The episodes all had to be performed live
This
due
guy
to
looks like my
radio's strict
grandpa.
policy of pre-recordings.
Like,
The
my
general
grandpa died,
public
like,
had been
before I-
trained
like,
to
way
believe
before I was
everything on
alive,
the
but when I
radio
see
was
pictures of
happening
him-
as they heard it, and stations like CBS didn't want to betray viewers' trust, so their preference was to have the show live every week
And Brendan
on a Monday
Fraser.
at 9 p.m.
The Columbia
Kinda looks like
Network
Brendan
takes
Fraser a little
pride
bit,
in
young
presenting
Brendan Fraser.
Orson Welles in the first production of a unique new summer series by the Mercury Theatre on the Air.
The first ever episode was going to be an adaptation of Treasure Island, before Orson Welles scrapped the entire script shortly before the premiere and decided to adapt Bram Stoker's Dracula instead. This dramatic change proved to be a success, as critics and audiences alike
The
adored
concept
the show,
of
giving
like radio shows is so cool. Like when you hear old people talk about it, because it was like, you know, every night they would pick up the radio show where they left off, and it was like a story, and it was like, okay, every night we gather around the radio at 8:00 at night, and we would all listen to the next piece of the story, whatever, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to be the guy that's like, things were so simple back then, but little things like that where you have such a simple thing that for me now, I would need to have that on. I would need to be doing something else. I would need to have like 6 different like sources of stimulation, where back then it was like, we're just going to go and we're all going to stare at the radio and just listen.
CBS a pretty good indication this show was in good hands.
The director of the Mercury Theatre, the star and producer of these programs, Orson Welles.
Hey,
Good
Tony!
evening.
Wait, we have to celebrate real quick. Everybody put your birthdays.
To be set for someone to such a cool streamer for our never said got you so immense.
Do you? Oh. Tony, thank you for the 2 years. Thank you so much. It has been a lovely 2 years. Thank you so much.
We're starting off tonight with the best story of its kind ever written. It is Bram Stoker's Dracula. I'll see you in Transylvania.
While it may seem insane to scrap or hold off on a script shortly before it's supposed to be performed, it wasn't out of the ordinary for Welles. In fact, he produced some of his best work when he was on a time crunch. Originally planned to only take place over the summer, CBS gave an extension to the show which would see the series continue into the month of Halloween, where the show would eventually leave its mark in human history.
This Monday night concludes the summer broadcast, which had introduced the Mercury Theatre as the first complete theatrical producing company in radio. But the tremendous response which their efforts have drawn from all parts of the country has ensured their continuance with us through the coming months. The Columbia Broadcasting System is therefore proud to announce a new series of weekly productions by Orson Welles and the Mercury Theatre on the Air, beginning next Sunday evening, September the 11th, from 8 to 9 o'clock Eastern Daylight Saving Time.
The 17th episode of the Mercury Theatre on the Air was going to take place on October 30th, 1938. Orson decided he wanted to tackle the renowned piece of fiction War of the Worlds, a story covering an alien invasion from the planet Mars, written by H.G. Wells. His idea was to make this particular episode feel like we were experiencing a real alien invasion across the United States of America. But how exactly could they pull something like that off? Well, Orson came up with an answer. News bulletins.
We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin.
An evening of radio programming being interrupted by news bulletins was a very common thing during the 1930s due to so many problems going on throughout the world. The Great Depression had just taken its course, tensions were rising between the US and Japan,
Yeah, this
the
is
Nazi
like,
Party...
Like the other day when I was talking about Barbie, and I was like, how cool would it be if like the Barbie movie was all Barbie, but then in the last like 15% of the movie, it just turned so quickly to like a horror film. And it's like, well, they could never do that because you can't elude people that they're seeing one thing and then switch it on them, because not everybody enjoys that. But this is literally what he did.
In right-wing radicalism was taking over Europe, serious events were happening all the time, and radio had the upper hand against newspapers by delivering breaking news to the American public the second it happened, sometimes interrupting the program that was playing at the time. And that's what Orson wanted for War of the Worlds, having numerous pieces of music playing across the first 40 minutes while being interrupted by reports of strange objects landing in several parts of the States. Unfortunately, the first read-through of the War of the Worlds was a complete disaster. It was dull, boring, and uninspiring. So they recorded a read-through and sent it to Orson for some feedback. He basically said the same thing. The news bulletins just weren't realistic enough. There was no sense of urgency. They needed more news flashes, more eyewitness accounts. If this was going to work, they needed to be as close to reality as they possibly could make it, without disrupting the story, of course. So, after restructuring the script, they added more news bulletins, more eyewitness accounts, using everything they could at their disposal to make these things much more believable. Even the actors began helping out, suggesting certain rewrites to particular dialogue that didn't come across as natural. Actor Frank Riedick, who was going to play a reporter on the scene, needed some help with his performance, so Orson gave him a recorded file of the Hindenburg disaster of 1937, reported by Herbert Morrison.
It burst into flames. Wait, get it started. It's fire and it's crashing. This is terrible. This is one of the worst catastrophes in the world. I can't talk, ladies and gentlemen. On his leg, there are massive smoking wreckage. Oh, the humanity.
Oh, the humanity.
Frank visited a record.
Is that where that's from? Is that like originally where that's from? Sometimes you just don't know something's a reference.
And had this playing on repeat, taking notes to help his performance.
He was giving.
They also went from having the alien invasion spanning across several days to having it all happen live, meaning the Martian invasion would take place in just the space of an hour. This is obviously unrealistic for an invasion to happen, but Wells managed to combat that problem
when was
by
the last
having
time
the
you were in
program
an
start
invasion?
off at an incredibly slow pace, having the orchestra segments at the start playing longer than most producers recommended him to. In Orson's mind, starting out with a slow pace and having big gaps between the news bulletins would help give the show that realistic atmosphere they were looking for. Then, as the story progresses, the Martians spread across the states. The pace became faster and faster, making people forget about the unrealistic nature of Martians taking control of huge cities in the space of an hour.
The Columbia Broadcasting System and its affiliated stations present Orson Welles and the Mercury Theater on the Air in The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells.
So they must have, like, at the very beginning stated, like, this is War of the Worlds, da da da, but if you didn't catch that, then you probably wouldn't know, right?
On October 30th, 1938, Orson Welles' adaptation of The War of the Worlds was about to broadcast on CBS at 8 p.m. Some people tuning in at the very
this is you
beginning
coming in the
excited to
stream.
listen to a brand new piece of media written
VOD.
and performed live by Orson Welles.
True, doggers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the director of the Mercury Theater and star of these broadcasts, Orson Welles.
We know now that in the early years of the 20th century, this world was being watched closely by intelligences greater than man's.
The show opens with an introduction to
It's
the Mercury
Virus.
Theater.
I think it's like the same as like why do people like to watch movies like Hereditary? It's like it's fucked up, and it's like the people that didn't run to the bunkers and found out that it was not real probably really enjoyed it. They were like, "Whoa, that was so crazy!" Like I thought, you know what I mean? But obviously, I think it was just poorly executed. It's, you know. I understand why he thought it would be cool. It's kind of one of those, it's like, oh, well, I love this. Why wouldn't everybody love this? Well, that's why.
Theater, along with a monologue performed by Orson Welles himself.
Or it was perfectly
The
executed.
show begins. Viewers listening.
See? I should make a video about this. Right now, the government is telling us that there's aliens to create a mass panic. You know what mass panic does? distracts. So
Orchestra playing, everything is fine. Until some viewers tuned in a few minutes late.
what do you think that they
switched
did
on the radio.
while the mass panic was
They
happening?
hear that orchestra playing. Oh, must be some kind of performance tonight. We can just leave this playing in the background while we do some chores.
I should literally make a video it starts out with the alien shit that's happening right now, and it's like, okay, you know, it created mass panic, and then I could go into all of the things that got passed recently while those were thing and be like, oh, mass panic can be really bad, like da da da, and then be like, well, this is not the first time that we have had mass panic because of aliens. And then I could go into this story, which is really fucking cool. I'm cooking.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin from the Intercontinental Radio News.
Suddenly the music stops. We're now hearing a news bulletin reporting on a mysterious object that's landed in the States.
It is reported that at 8:50 p.m. a huge flaming object, believed to be a meteorite, fell on a farm in the neighborhood of Grover's Mill, New Jersey, 22 miles from Trenton.
Reporters are on the scene interviewing experts on what they believe the mysterious object is.
We take you now to Grover's Mill, New Jersey.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sorry to do this again, but I know that there's people filtering in and out. I'm just going to TLDR what's going on right now. 1930s radio show that was meant to just be a regular radio show and then interrupt and be like, aliens are invading, and it was totally scripted and it was meant for entertainment, but it caused panic. People were freaking out. They were going to bunkers because they thought that aliens were actually taking over when it was just a radio podcast for funsies. I don't think we can pin a message because I don't even know how to explain that.
Carl Phillips again, out at the Wilmot Farm, Grover's Mill, New Jersey. I guess that's it. Yes, I guess that's
So
the
this
thing
is the
directly in front of
broadcast
me.
right now.
But I can see of the object itself doesn't look very much like a meteor. At least not the meteors I've seen. It looks more like a huge cylinder. Has a diameter of...
Now they're listening a little more closely. If these objects are not meteors, then what are they?
I say, do you still think it's a meteor, Professor?
So imagine you're like a little kid or you're like a family and you've gathered around the radio to listen to a radio show and you're hearing this. This is what you're hearing right now.
What to think? The metal casing is definitely extraterrestrial. Not found on this Earth.
Hearts are starting to pound a little faster
Josie, I think it's the same podcast.
Just a minute. Something's happening. Ladies and gentlemen, this is terrific. Top is beginning to rotate like a screw in this anything means. Wait a minute, something's happening. Some shape is rising out of the pit. I can make out a small beam of light against a mirror. It strikes them head on. Lord, they're turning into flames. Oh, the whole field's caught up by the woods, the bars, the gas tanks of the automobiles spreading everywhere. Coming this way now, about 20 yards to my right. Ladies and gentlemen, due to circumstances beyond our control, we are unable to continue the broadcast from Grover's Mill.
Losing signal with the reporter.
Like if you hear that in 1930s, like if you hear that on the radio, you're shitting your pants. You are shitting your pants, especially with it going flat like that.
Our object opened up is certainly not what they were expecting.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a grave announcement to make. Incredible as it may seem, both the observations of science and the evidence of our eyes lead to the inescapable assumption that those strange beings who landed in the Jersey farmlands tonight are the vanguard of an invading army from the planet Mars.
The world is being invaded. People start leaving their homes. It's over. There's nothing we can do. People are running for the hills, setting their pets free to fend for themselves. Some even invaded churches, announcing the world is under attack and you might as well go home to die. Others decided to call into their local police stations, asking if there's anything they can do to fight in the alien invasion. At 8:32 p.m., CBS supervisor Davidson Taylor received a telephone call in the control room ordering him to interrupt the War of the Worlds broadcast with an announcement that the show was indeed fictional. But by the time the message had gotten across, the damage was already done. The following day, the War of the Worlds broadcast was on the front page of every newspaper across the states, claiming widespread panic took place during and after the broadcast. The newspapers reported that thousands of people had called them up along with police stations asking for more information or offering their services to help in the war. There were mobs in the streets of New York, angry and confused as to what they had witnessed on the radio. Reports of people taking their own lives appeared in the news, claiming people were jumping off buildings after hearing the apocalypse had arrived. The entrance of the CBS headquarters was packed to the brim with journalists waiting for Orson Welles to make his appearance and respond to the backlash of his radio show.
I simply don't know. I can't imagine. You must realize that when I left the broadcast last night, I went into dress rehearsal for a play that's opening in 2 days, and I've had almost no sleep, and I know less about this than you do. I haven't read the papers except
At the time you were giving this role, were you aware that terror was going on throughout the nation?
Oh, no, of course not. You know, we did Dracula, and it seemed to me during Dracula I had high hopes that people would react as they do in a movie of that kind, and I don't know that they did, particularly, and so I'd given up. One doesn't believe in the radio audience much. You don't know whether they're listening or not. You have no idea how many people are listening or what they're thinking. I had every hope that the people would be excited as they would be at a melodrama.
According to people who worked with Orson, while he was very apologetic publicly, privately,
Tony,
they
I wasn't
could
gonna
tell
say
he
it.
was enjoying this attention. He knew this piece of work was going to go down in history with how huge the backlash appeared. The entire country in a frenzy over something he put together.
Yes.
We've asked it at
He's 26. We can speculate a million reasons why, but when I look at videos of like old timey things, everybody looked like 20 years older than they actually were.
Do you think, Mr. Wells, that you might have taken unfair advantage of the public in using a method as a conveyance for authentic news?
I don't believe that I have, since it is not a method original with me. It is used by many radio programs. I am terribly shocked by the effect it's had. I do not believe that the method is original with me or peculiar to the Mercury Theater's presentation.
This guy, like, people died, people freaked out, whatever. You know, he went home and he was like, fuck yeah. We did it. It was a banger.
As the years went on, however, the more historians look back at this bizarre event, the more they began to question it. According to the radio research project Invasion of Mars, it was reported that 6 million people were listening to the broadcast, and just around 1 million of those believed it was real. In later studies, however, it suggested that those viewing figures were greatly exaggerated, estimating around 1 million were actually listening to the show rather than 6.
No, I haven't heard of that.
But even those viewing figures are uncertain, and it could have even been smaller. Luckily, the C.E. Hooper rating service was doing research on the very night of the broadcast into what people were listening to, calling over 5,000 homes,
pin that 'cause I wanna go back and
asking
find it
what
in a
they
sec.
were watching. Less than 2% out of the 5,000 said they were listening to War of the Worlds broadcast. And out of 5,000 homes, there were no mentions of people listening to news bulletins about alien invasions. Although, many people supposedly left their homes the second they heard the world was being invaded by aliens, so those who believed it was real wouldn't have been in their homes to answer the call. But the fact remains that only 2% out of that specific 5,000 were listening to it. To further back up the evidence that not many people were actually listening to the broadcast was that there were very popular programs airing in the same time slot as War of the Worlds. One program in particular was a show called The Chase in Sanborn Hour that was hosted by ventriloquist
it sounds
Edgar
kind of
Byrne.
like, why would people leave there? Like, if you realistically, like, be honest, you're at home, you see on Twitter aliens are invading. What do you do? Because for me, being in Los Angeles, I can assume that I'm fucked, right? Because if aliens are going to come somewhere, they're going to come to, like, the most populated areas. Maybe. I just stay home, I guess. I don't know. It would be really hard in LA. I know being here, I would be like, okay, well, I probably can't go anywhere because traffic's going to be bad like that because everybody's getting in their car. So, I don't know.
exactly a ventriloquist works on radio, well, your guess is as good as mine. Ben Gross, the New York Daily News radio editor, published a memoir in 1954 where he recalls the streets of Manhattan being deserted as he sped to the CBS headquarters not too long after the War of the Worlds
August, I probably should though.
Also, despite the rumors that have circulated over the years about people jumping off of buildings, there were no confirmed reports of this actually happening. There were no reports of medical injuries as well that were to do with the War of the Worlds broadcast. But if this was true, and the backlash really wasn't as big as it was documented, then why? Why would the reaction to the broadcast be so greatly exaggerated? What exactly would be the point? Who would benefit from this? The media. It's important to note that America just came off the back of the Great Depression, and radio was a new, quicker and easier way to find out what was going on in the world. The 1930s marked the beginning of the golden age for radio. Many people stopped buying papers and solely relied on their little contraptions for events around the world. The newspapers took a huge hit during this time, and radio was now seen as a direct competitor, maybe even a threat, when it came to delivering news. They needed something that would turn the audience against it and go back to buying their products. That perfect opportunity came along when War of the Worlds aired. If they could show that radio negatively impacted the world, it could turn people away from it, stop them from being so trusting in it. So, while it seems like it wasn't a nationwide panic like the legend had a—
This is a perfect pivot in a video that I could make based on how the media uses mass panic to convince you of things.
Believe, it is still important to note there are records of people who did genuinely fall for it and believe there was an alien invasion taking place. When the broadcast ended, over the course of the next few weeks, Orson received thousands of letters from people who were listening to the show while it aired, some applauding his legendary work, but others were angry, claiming they had fallen for the news bulletins. Even Orson claimed himself that most of his life he's had people come up to him talk about how they fell for the broadcast at the time.
If you think this is an exaggeration, it's only a little while ago that I again ran into some workers, some welfare workers, Quakers and Red Cross people who had been up in the Black Hills of Dakota some 5 or 6 weeks after this broadcast, persuading the people to leave the mountains and go back home because the Martians really hadn't come. Just the other day I was coming here to England on the ferry, and some people were in the next compartment on the boat. The boat train said to me, there you are, Orson. Well, you sure scared us. We were on our honeymoon. My wife and I. I'm sorry to say that they look a very ancient couple, but anyway, I said, we were on our honeymoon and had a little portable radio. We were out there by the lake and heard what you said. We come right back home. That spoiled the honeymoon, but glad to see you, Orson. That kind of thing has followed me all over the world since then.
So at the end of the day, we don't know how big the reaction actually was. We know a lot of people fell for it, but we also know a lot of it was exaggerated by the press. Either way, it certainly deserves a place in the history books for the bizarre situation it caused. If you're still interested in War of the Worlds after this video, the BBC have just made a 3-part television series based on the War of the Worlds book available on BBC iPlayer. If you're outside of the UK and can't access iPlayer, then don't worry, because this video is sponsored by ExpressVPN.
Wow.
ExpressVPN can actually help you gain access to content like BBC iPlayer if it's not available in your country.
Or you can watch the 2005 hit film War of the Worlds starring Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning, which is one of my personal shitty movies.
8:30?
We said 8 o'clock.
Hello, Dad.
Get a hug?
Robbie's got a paper, which he's yet to begin.
I just gotta type it up.
You just gotta start writing it first. Take care of our kids.
You got nothing to worry about.
I think I saw it in theaters. I was 10.
That is so weird. The wind is blowing toward the storm.
This is actually a great movie. It's very 2000s. But...
twice. Where's this thunder? Robbie, you saw the lightning?
Yeah, 26 times on Lincoln Avenue.
Feel that?
Right, August.
I'm taking you to the car. You're gonna want to look around. But you're not going to, are you?
This movie, God bless Dakota Fanning, you multiple times in this movie want to take Dakota Fanning and chuck her out the passenger seat window and just leave her behind.
Listen to me, there's three of us. There's nothing living in that direction!
They've been planning this for 1,000,000 years. And these are only the first. They'll keep coming.
Am I ever gonna see Mom again in my life?
Where's my son? I know you want to fight. I know it seems like you have to, but you don't. You don't!
This is not a war. This is an extermination.
Yeah, entire movie in the trailer. Uh-huh. Where is Joaquin Phoenix and his bat? Okay, I don't know if we're gonna watch this whole thing, but I wanted to click on it.
In 1992, the BBC broadcast one of the most controversial shows.
I kind of want to. So this is BBC's most controversial show. Ghostwatchers was a TV program that aired on the 31st of October 1992, appearing to be a live broadcast going horribly wrong, gaining 20 to 30,000 phone calls all at once while it was live. Okay, I want to watch this. Hold on.
It would ever have in its entire history.
Are we cool with watching this real quick? Because this channel, it's the same channel that we just watched, and this is a similar thing. And then we'll start the movie.
Spawning more than 30,000 phone calls in just the space of an hour, along with the first ever reports of children being diagnosed with PTSD from a TV program. This is the story of Ghostwatch. Before we continue, however, with it being the month of Halloween, it's a time where everyone is looking for a scary story, and that's why this video is sponsored by Audible. Audible has scare brand new facility. I'm either inside a mile with a free audiobook free. Use your audible.com/insidermind or text inside/October of 19.
Get the bag.
In October of 1988, a horror writer known as Stephen Volk pitched a 6-part supernatural series featuring a young female presenter exploring haunted houses throughout Britain. He wanted to present the final episode in the style of a live broadcast where everything would go horribly wrong and the supernatural would take over. His agent later came back asking if it was possible to condense the 6-part series into a 1-hour
Thank you for gifting sub to audible.com.
special to air on Halloween night.
Coming.
Stephen agreed, but suggested they do it like episode 6.
Yeah, Zoid. What did you just say? Run it back? 1 more month until Halloween? How many more months until Halloween, Zoid?
6, and have it set like a live broadcast, giving the illusion that it was real. Stephen's reasoning was that the scariest or most enjoyable stories he read or saw on screen when he was a kid were tales that presented themselves as if they actually happened. Like Bram Stoker's Dracula. The story is completely fictional, but the book is structured in a way that gives us the impression these events actually happened.
Ooh.
After discussing this with his agent, she was excited by the idea, and production for Ghostwatch was finally underway.
On Saturday night, we'll be visiting the most haunted house in Britain. But we'll
go close my door real quick.
Stephen wanted to add even more to the
Locked in right
realism
now.
of Ghostwatch by getting celebrities everyone in the UK would know playing themselves. He brought in Michael Parkinson as the host, who would be watching the events unfold from the studio. Michael was a well-trusted TV and radio presenter at the time.
Evening and welcome. My very special guest tonight was born Richard Jenkins, son of a miner in South Wales. From the
Oh, so this is a TV broadcast.
He shaped for himself
obviously,
a career
right?
in stage and film and became one of the world's greatest actors, as well as being one of the richest.
The young reporter on the scene investigating the haunted house will be played by children's presenter Sarah Green, whose husband, Mike Smith, apparently read the script too and loved it so much that he asked if he could be in it as well.
We've decided that the
This is like the most like 90s looking thing ever.
Snarg or Thundercat.
Which Stephen Volks jumped at the opportunity to have a husband and wife dynamic on the show. He will be taking viewers' phone calls in the studio along with
I know
Mike.
that Datoon would never do this because I just don't think he would like compromise the trust of his viewers, but like to do if he like wanted to shut down Paranormal Detour, that would be so cool to stage one. It would be so fun.
Michael Parkinson. There was also a third performer for the show, Craig Charles, who is currently on the hit UK sitcom Red Dwarf.
Step up to red alert.
Sir, are you absolutely sure? It does mean changing the bulb.
Something like this had never really been attempted before. This was before the internet, before even the Blair Witch Project came out, along with the found footage genre.
I saw Paranormal Activity 3 times in theaters because I couldn't.
Reality and fiction had
I kept
been
closing my eyes at the
separated for
end.
the most part on TV. You could definitely tell when one show was science fiction and another was a documentary or a news program on real life events. But over time, that gap between the two slowly started shrinking. Being able to see what was real and fiction were becoming harder. A big example of this would be during 1977, arguably Ghostwatcher's biggest inspiration, the Enfield Poltergeist, where a BBC documentary took place in a council house in Brimsdown after a mother of 2 daughters claimed to be experiencing paranormal activity.
What sort of a case is this in your experience?
Seems like
Well, I think this is
that one
probably
movie?
the best case this century. In
Was it
fact,
C,
as
I
far
think?
as documentation is concerned, it may be the best case of all time.
The poltergeist seemed to have latched onto the daughter Janet, having
Conjuring, The
recordings of her
Conjuring.
speaking with the voice of a man and pictures of her levitating in the air. But throughout the investigation, more things came to light, making the whole thing a lot more questionable. At one point, a camera had supposedly spotted Janet in the kitchen bending spoons and trying to bend an iron
Janet.
bar, along with photos that could suggest she wasn't actually
really? I
levitating
didn't realize
in
it
this
was actually
picture,
based on
but
it.
rather jumping. Even some skeptics reminding everyone that Janet was a school sports champion at the time. The idea that this could be real or completely fake was fascinating. It had people engaged and investigating themselves, tuning in and watching the kids' every move during their interviews, seeing if they could spot a mistake that would help them confirm on whether or not the 2 girls were telling the truth. Having that skeptic mind that not everything you see on TV is real was something Stephen Volk was wanting to convey with Ghostwatch, because television was at a transitioning period at the time, taking certain pieces of the truth and adding elements of fiction, very similar to what we see now with news
That
and
would be
media.
a really
Trying
fun
to
time to be like an enjoyer of film, to watch this big transition of realizing that your audience is capable of more, you know? Because it's like back in the 30s, clearly, it's like, okay, we know that people just are really, really unfamiliar with media. But like watching the transition of like, I think we can ramp it up a little bit. This one, obviously, we're going to see is not the exception, but...
To explain this to the producers at the BBC, though, became a chore, as there were no known examples available at the time to help explain exactly what they were trying to do. Many of the producers were hesitant with the thought of presenting something fictional as completely real, so they suggested the only way they're going to allow this show to happen is if they take some precautions before it airs. First one being that they add writing credits at the end, along with the BBC announcer mentioning that it's a fictional story before the show begins, along with the BBC Studio Screen 1 intro appearing at the beginning. Within the special, there was also going to be a phone number the audience could call up and talk about their ghost experiences. So the BBC made a pre-recorded answering machine that explained the whole thing was fictional before asking them to go on and tell their paranormal stories. There was also a section added in the Radio Times before the premiere where the creators explained it was a drama piece they created for Halloween. The teasers and promos for the show were also promoted as a drama. The only place where it didn't tell you it was fiction was the episode itself.
The broadcast.
Now, on BBC One, Screen One presents an unusual and sometimes disturbing film marking Halloween. Over the centuries, there have been countless reports of ghosts and ghouls, but the line between fact and fiction has always been unclear. Using the modern idiom of the outside broadcast, Michael Parkinson, Sarah Green, Mike Smith and Craig Charles star in Ghostwatch.
Tonight's the night. 9:25 p.m. on the 31st of October 1992, Ghostwatch will air in front of 11 million people, one of the highest viewing figures ever for a standalone UK special. However, for the next hour, the BBC estimated around 20 to 30,000 phone calls were all coming in at once, causing the BBC switchboard to be jammed, meaning the pre-recorded message telling viewers it was all fictional no longer played for future callers.
Oh my goodness.
The program you're about to watch is a unique live investigation of the supernatural. It contains material which some viewers may find to be disturbing. I'm joined in the studio by Dr. Lynn Pascoe to give her expert technical advice.
Michael Parkinson introduces us to the show, explaining how they'll be spending the night.
That reminds me of the setup for America's Funniest Home Videos. Like, just the way that the stage is set up.
In a haunted house on the outskirts of London. Live. The phone lines are now open and anyone can call in.
We hope to show you for the first time irrefutable proof that ghosts really do exist.
Right, this part of the studio is your part of the studio this evening because this is the phone number we'd like you to call us on.
Visiting the location, the house itself is currently owned by a family of 3, a mother and 2 daughters, who have all witnessed several paranormal experiences while living there, including this piece of footage that was captured earlier in the week, featuring items being thrown around in the children's bedroom. We're introduced to Craig Charles and Sarah Green, who explain to us how all the ghost hunting equipment was going to work, before speaking to the family about their paranormal experiences.
A few days later, these terrible noises woke me coming from the walls, like a thudding.
All around you?
Yes, like the whole room was going to come apart.
What sort of a noise was it?
I said it was pipes, central heating. So afterwards, whenever Kim heard something, she'd say, it's pipes.
I feel like you can tell, like, she just gives off, like, actress vibes so much, you know? Like, even the way she's dressed and everything. Like, I would be like, this person's an actor.
Meanwhile, back at the studio, we get a call from someone who claims they saw something strange during the footage of the girls in the bedroom.
Thank you. Emma, hello.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
I did have a story, but there's actually something else I'd like to say to Dr. Pascoe. You know, at the beginning, when you showed the real footage of that haunted bedroom, but I was sure I could see a figure standing behind against the wall, just by the curtain.
I've got 8 or 9 phone calls here, which are like Emma Stableford's we had earlier on. They, too, have seen a mysterious dark figure.
Dark, mysterious figure, Doctor.
Have we got that sequence ready yet?
Right.
Now, this is the point where Emma Stapleford, our caller, said she could identify that dark, mysterious figure.
Playing the footage back, we can clearly see some kind of figure stood by the curtain while the children sleep. But when the paranormal investigator asks for the footage to be played back again, the mysterious figure is missing. Before rewinding it back for a third time to reveal that it may have just been a dressing gown. This isn't the only time we witness a mysterious figure appearing in the background of shots. Throughout the entire special, we see something lurking around, waiting for its moment. At one point during the special, Michael Parkinson and the paranormal investigator began listening to a recorded tape from one of her previous investigations while trying to communicate with ghosts. For a brief shot,
the invention
we
of
can
gaslighting.
make out a figure standing right behind her.
Why have you boarded it up like this, though? All of a sudden, the door's stuck. Like somebody was pushing it from outside.
You were inside by this time?
When I was in there, I swear as God's my witness, I felt this man in there with me.
As the time passes 10 o'clock, Sarah takes the children to bed while Craig interviews several of the neighbours who've heard mysterious goings-on about the house, or they just simply have their own paranormal experiences to share.
Can you tell me about some of the things that have been going on around here?
Well, we live opposite Pam at number 43, and one night, ages ago now, we had all this banging. So we went to the front door, and it was obvious it was coming from Pam's house.
So what did you see?
Well, the top window was smashed and Pam and Kimmy were in the garden crying.
It's not very funny. I mean, some really weird and horrible things happen around here.
What kind of weird things?
Happen on
Well,
here.
there was that wee girl that went missing. What was
Judy
her name?
Welland.
Judy Welland.
My youngest son, Gary, came running into the house in a real
The TV
state.
streamers
So
did a little
when it
yoink
calmed
into
them
us.
down, it seemed that they'd been playing in
I
here.
feel like if I
And
didn't know Datoon, I would 100% be like, yeah, it'd be cool to go IRL stream and then just have a bunch of people like fake stuff. But I just feel like that would be...
They found this dead black Labrador.
And how had it died?
Well, it'd been cut open like something in a butcher's shop.
Back at the home, we hear a huge banging sound coming from upstairs. One of the girls is missing from their bed. They use the landing cameras to pan around quickly and see the truth.
Hello, kid.
All right, come on. It wasn't me. It doesn't matter.
The story wasn't over yet. While everyone seems to believe the haunting is now an open and shut case, Mike Smith...
Okay, so they filmed the girl, the little kid, banging, and then they were like, oh, well, it's been debunked. The little girl's been, like, pranking everybody.
Who's been handling the phone lines, claims there was still reports coming through about the mysterious figure being sighted throughout the special.
Oh, that's genius. Wait, actually, that's genius. They're gonna debunk it, but the mysterious figure is still lurking. So the whole thing was just like a fake story, but we've got this other overarching story that's gonna take over.
From completely different people, but all with the exact same description.
Well, the strange thing is that we're still getting calls about that shadowy figure that was seen in the haunted bedroom. They're generally all saying that it's an old man or a woman, bald with a skull-like head, dark eyes, some are just saying holes for eyes, and wearing a black robe or a dress which is buttoned up to the neck.
Bald over his head.
Now, do you see what I mean?
It's got a nose.
Description exactly
in the middle,
matches
it's got a scratch
what Mike's
all
been
the way
getting on the
down.
phones. Wearing a black dress.
It's black.
She says it's black.
Then what are you saying?
Well, we were drawn to assuming it was Suzanne at the centre of
Yes.
this because she's at puberty, but what if she isn't? What if it's Kim?
We've been looking at the wrong person.
Exactly.
As they travel back to the scene, the show begins to derail into madness, following the sound of cats screaming from the basement all the way to technology issues taking place, followed by a caller coming online to explain the real story behind the haunting and who the ghost really was.
I worked as a social worker when he came out of psychiatric hospital. He had several convictions for molestation, aggravated abuse, abduction of minors. He was a very disturbed man, in my opinion. He took his own life. That's why I called. When I heard...
Yeah, this is cool. I mean, not what they just said, but this video is cool. Good.
Under the stairs.
Good pull.
It was 12 days before anybody found him.
This is probably one of the most interesting YouTube videos I've ever seen.
The cats were locked in, of course. And of course, 12 days, they got hungry. They got to work on his face.
The footage ends with the studio falling into darkness and Michael Parkinson being fully taken over by the spirit, who's been haunting the whole show as he slowly walks towards the camera while the screen turns to black.
It is, of course, Halloween, and if you were with us for our Ghost Watch earlier, may I reassure you that it was just a story.
We're never meant to fool the audience.
But I also think that you betrayed the trust that the audience has within the BBC.
Well, I thought it was one sick joke, the way that it was based around children. Why did you have to bring the children into it?
In less than 12 hours, every newspaper you could think of in the UK were reporting on Ghostwatch, and how so many people were shocked and horrified by what they saw. Many people called into the BBC expressing their disgust, others saying they were having paranormal experiences while the show was airing. Apparently one woman, according to Stephen himself, called into the studio asking for compensation for a new pair of trousers because her husband soiled himself while watching the show. Another caller was from a vicar who said he knew it wasn't real, but by airing it on TV they somehow summoned real demons. Stephen was also heckled by a woman from his local off license, expressing her anger about her son being too scared to sleep. The lady serving my local off-license said, "I've got a bone to pick with you. My son
when I
wouldn't sleep till we
accidentally
took the luminous skeleton off
I
the
was
back of his
babysitting and I accidentally showed the kids the 1,000 Ways to Die. Whoops.
bedroom door, to which I thought, what is he doing with a luminous skeleton on the back of his door in the first place?" Despite having many comical responses to the show, one of the worst things to come from all of this was the tragic death of a young boy known as Martin Denham, aged 18. He had a mental age of 13 and was a slow learner, but 5 days after watching the program, he took his own life with a suicide note saying, "If there are ghosts, then I will be with you always as a ghost." Martin's home had faulty pipes, which made the same banging noises as described in the original program. This, of course, fueled the ammunition of the already angry mob, causing the BBC to backtrack and pull all mentions of Ghostwatch from the general public. Allegedly, Ghostwatch was nominated for a BAFTA that very year, but the BBC made efforts to have it removed and never mentioned. The Radio Times was also ordered by the BBC to never mention it again. Stephen would later work on future paranormal shows for the BBC, but not once would Ghostwatch ever be brought up during those productions. It only got worse for the BBC, as a report came out 2 years later mentioning Ghostwatch and how some children had been diagnosed with PTSD from that very show, making it the very first program to have reports causing something like that. This looked like the end of Ghostwatch, ready to disappear into the abyss, never to be mentioned again. For nearly a decade, the BBC pretended like the show didn't exist. That is, until the internet forums introduced themselves. A fan base for the show began to appear online. People claiming they watched the show as a kid, and while they were still traumatized, they weren't angry at the show for scaring or giving the illusion that it was real. In fact, they loved it for that very reason. Some even inspired by it, causing them to venture into the film industry as a job once they were old enough, or their favorite genre in movies became horror. Suddenly,
it aged like a fine wine, okay? It was just, it started out being a little distasteful, but then it, it grew on them.
Side of the audience was coming to the surface. On its 10-year anniversary, the BBC finally acknowledged its existence and announced a DVD release, along with an essay written up by Stephen Volks himself, published by the Fortean Times, explaining his personal side of the story. In spite of the vitriolic reaction in some quarters, over the past 10 years, Ghostwatch has created a loyal fanbase who got it and loved it. Apparently, pirate videos were available on the black market for £50, and I've been told by university professors that almost every year, at least one student in media studies will want to do their dissertation on Ghostwatch. Ghostwatch is a fascinating case study into how easily people can be trusting in media and television. Stephen himself said in his essay about Ghostwatch that he wanted the show to be a message on modern TV and what it's becoming. How that line between reality and fiction is becoming more and more blurred.
I wonder if I made that video about the War of the Worlds thing, if diverting to this a little bit would be a little bit too far of a reach, or if it would be relevant.
Telling an interesting story, and facts are just a bonus if you even have them. News outlets are more focused on what makes a good headline rather than the context of the story. Shows like Ghostwatch, The Blair Witch Project, Marble Hornets
love Blair Witch Project, one of my favorite movies of all time.
A lot of people watch when they were young, and just like the Enfield haunting, they were looking at the screen intentatively, trying to figure out if it was real or fiction. I think that's a healthy thing to experience at some point in your life, learning that not everything you see is true. To this day, the BBC have never aired Ghostwatch again. It can be found on the Internet Archives, which is where it remains. Thank you guys for watching. I also want to say
Blair Witch Project was so good because when it came out, there was no internet like there is now, and basically you would watch it and you'd be like, it was like, oh, this is found footage. And then there was a website you could go to which had more pictures and videos and stuff. We're not going to watch the whole episode, but can I have it? Can I have it? I just want to go to like the end.
Okay.
who's talking with a stage manager. Is it a technical glitch, or is it the work of a malevolent spirit? Kitchen. Its eyes have been removed. The lights are going on and off, and the TV's on the blink. Kim is cowering in the corner.
This would be really fun
she says
to
Pipes
watch.
told her to mutilate the toy. Just then there's the loud sound of a cat screeching, which seems to be coming from the basement. The mirror in the hallway is shaking violently.
Is there like a voiceover, or is this the raw footage? I want the actual, just like, Ghost Watch. I want to go ending. I want to see when he, like, the ending part.
Stop it, Susie!
I hate you.
Okay, hold on. This is 2 minutes long. Let's watch it. This is the ending of the whole broadcast. Oh, cool.
There are incredible noises coming from the walls and from the ceiling. Ah! Oh, Kimmy! Kim! Can't you do something? Oh. Susie. Stop it!
Imagine watching this and you think that this is live. Like, you think this is live and you think that it's like real and it's happening.
Stop it, Susie! Suzanne, you're coming with me. Suzanne? You're coming... Suzanne? Listen to me, Susie. Susie? Can you hear me? Suzanne, do you hear me?
Yes. Yes. Get out. Get out if you don't want to be here. I don't care. You just mess things up. You mess everything up. I hate you.
Studio's completely dark. Just blackness now. All the lights have failed. The power's gone off. We've got some lights in the studio. I don't know. There's cameras, but I don't know which one's working. I mean, there are no cameramen. I mean, it's difficult to know.
This is like the end of my Datoon stream with us, where I cut the cameras.
In this studio, this totally deserted studio. So, autocue's working.
That's the whole thing, Gregor, is that this did cause panic. And we were talking about the War of the Worlds thing, which is panic. That's so scary. And that's just live. And then the broadcast cuts. And then you're like, what the fuck just happened? Whoa. Yeah, it would get spread, but then it would be immediately debunked. I think nowadays, I think it's the opposite. Like, I don't think you could do it nowadays because people would just immediately assume it's fake. Because anything can be faked now, you know? Yeah. Let's watch for movie night. That would be fun. We could probably watch it on stream. I'd be fine to watch it on stream. Okay, so now to continue our Alien trajectory, it's movie night in the Discord, Movie Monday. There's the link to the Discord. We're gonna load in, let's say 9. I'll decide what time as we're about to raid out. Okay, we're gonna raid out. So we're gonna watch the movie Arrival, which is one of my favorite Alien movies. It's really cool. I think it's a great movie. I think you guys will like it. Yeah, we're gonna watch Arrival. So if you've never been to one of the movie nights, all you do is you join the Discord, scroll down to the section that says voice channels. You're going to join the movie night voice channel, mute your mic, and then I think it's muted in there by default. But then there's a section called movie night chat, which is where we talk. And I will stream the movie for you guys. So don't worry about that. And yeah, it'll be awesome and great, but we're going to go raid somebody now. So, today was a good stream. Yeah, I think I made it so everybody's muted by default. I'm pretty sure. But today was a good stream. I had, today, this is kind of random, but today was like a perfect example of just winging it for stream and having a great time. Like, we talked about so many random things and I had fun talking about all of them. Let's go. Jarvis is live and he's like never live, so let's go raid Jarvis. Yeah, we'll go raid Jarvis. I I'll just say checkmate, I guess, whatever. He's doing Pog Jams earlier. Yeah, he's in a chess tournament, so I think he's practicing chess. So, I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna go say hi to Jarvis. He's practicing chess because he's playing chess in, whatever. I don't know what he's doing, but we're gonna go hang out. It will be very fun. So yeah, join the Discord. Let's see, it's 9:20. Let's say it's 9:25. Let's start the movie at 9:40. That gives us about 15 minutes to go to the bathroom, go get a snack, go feed the animals, go do whatever you need to do. I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow just because I'm going to take a day off because I only take like 1 or 2 days a week off. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the Discord. No stream tomorrow.